streaming. It should be getting data now. It says stream status good.
Yep.
It should be going now. It's not.
Pokemon Switch news.
Pokemon Switch news.
Yeah.
What?
Pokemon Switch news.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Stream status good. Should
Some
that help?
French interview. There's I don't know who this is, but it's a
Oh, there
quote
we go.
from this interview.
Pokemon
And it
Switch news.
says,
Okay.
Finally.
"We were not allowed into the development area with our cameras, but our host brought us to a room overlooking the
Pokemon
capital,
Switch news.
basking in the winter sun."
And then go ahead and mute YouTube.
Well, YouTube's not even me on.
Huh? Oh, okay.
And this will be for $10 or more. Publish now. We're live there. Alright. Barring any other F-ups, we are good.
Hooray.
I think. Finally.
Huzzah.
Until I sit down and everything breaks.
All right.
Because it does that. Oh. Audio.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we might want to
Especially
start
if,
the audio.
For some reason it starts lagging.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hooray.
Alright. Oh. All right. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good. All right, that's good. Darren, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Chewing on the
Jeez,
chips.
you're still just chowing down. You can't stop for the podcast, huh?
Oh, I will.
You get sort of the who was that? RGT that was doing that on that one.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, this podcast.
This podcast, like,
He started choking.
he started
It was
choking
funny.
on chips. It was funny.
Nice.
I'm like, that really
Hilarious.
happened. Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't even want to mute his mic while he was just chomping away.
Why are we all of a sudden...
Is that us?
Yeah.
That's me. You can just turn me down.
I know. I'm
Hang
just
on.
saying.
We can adjust me on the fly. I'm a loud guy. I like to get loud. See, that's too loud.
Yeah, I know.
Too loud. Test, 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 test.
It feels like now that you sat down, it decided to work better. I don't know. Don't ask me. And then
That's
starts
just how-
picking
that-
up.
Dude,
It's-
that's how it rolls. I'm loud.
Yeah, I know, I
I'm
know.
just a lot louder
Yeah.
than you. All right. So, hey, Player Essence, welcome to the stream, man. Or
Thank
welcome
you.
to the
Thanks for
stream,
having me.
the
Appreciate it.
podcast.
yeah.
For some reason, She Says isn't here. I don't know why. He really wanted to be here. He specially requested to come on this week. But, oh well. We're going to go on without him because we're already starting late. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get the topic list I sent you?
I did.
Okay, cool. I mean, obviously, we're just talking about Smash. Not too
Yeah.
difficult, I don't think.
Nah.
I don't know anything about Smash. What are you talking about?
And absolutely nothing. All right, you guys already. Oh, easiest way. When people want to get me video and they don't want to have to transfer it is if you actually do like your own, like private Google Hangout and then just send me the video link. But
Yeah.
some
My bad.
YouTubers
Maybe-
are like, that's too difficult. I'm like, all right.
Sure.
No, next time I can definitely get that set up next
No,
time.
yeah, it's cool. We never actually got a chance to talk about the setup for it, so it's all right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
My
no
bad,
video.
dude.
We've been busy. It's been a busy week.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you.
All right. Well, if you guys are ready, first thing we'll do. I already know.
Yes, I know.
You don't have to remind me. This is what I do for a living.
I was just giving you a round of applause.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. First thing we do is a countdown to sync up all our audios. So basically, I go 3, 2, 1, and then when I would say 0, we just all clap instead, and we do that a few times. So if you and Darren are both ready, we can do that quick.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm ready. I'm recording.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. There, that last one.
That's gonna work.
So that's why we do it 3 times. There's
Yep.
usually one
of them
one
that works.
All right. That's okay. I actually don't do the editing on this one, so I'm not the one that has to deal with the problem, to be honest.
Thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Martin. When you listen
Love
to
you,
this.
Martin.
All right. So we'll just get right into this. I need one more drink quick.
Let's get right into the news.
Fighting a little bit of a cold, so let's get right into the news. I just caught that. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 56. Although this is really a special. It's the Smash Cast.
Smashcast.
Smash Bros. All the time. Because you know that Super Smash Bros. Is coming to Switch. And for such a special episode, we had to have such a special guest. That would be OJ from Player Essence.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
No problem. I'm glad you are here too. I know we are both very busy individuals, so it's very hard to find times, especially during the week, to make this happen. But I'm glad that we did. And we have almost as always, Darren.
Almost as always as I ever can be.
Almost as always as those end of day roundup posts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah. Ooh.
We'll talk about that later. And then the hostess with the mostest, Mr. Eric Moore, is here.
Hello, everybody.
And remember, he now does officially have Twitter.
I
folks.
do.
Well, I'm going to keep reminding people every week because I'm still shocked.
And he posts on Nintendo Prime. I did not know this.
Yeah.
I found this out today.
Yeah.
It's because you haven't
That
talked to
is
me about
great.
Nintendo Prime, so you don't even know what's happening anymore.
I don't. to be
All
honest
right.
with you.
Prime things. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
There we go.
And for those who don't know, we're talking about NintendoPrime.net. It's kind of like related to what we do because it's the same entity, but like it's not YouTube, so it's not.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You ain't got to go there. So let's just get right into it because, as you guys know, or as our listeners know at least, we had a 3-hour podcast last week. We are not repeating that. And that would be my phone. Hey,
Nice.
you only had time to wake up for work.
Yeah.
She doesn't work tonight. I don't even know why I have that alarm on. For those who don't know, at 9:30 every single night, my alarm goes off to remind me to wake her up because she's really bad at waking up. To
Nice.
her own alarm.
Didn't that go off last week?
It does.
too?
It goes off every week.
Yep.
I should turn it off. No, she does work some Thursdays, so I.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to try to shorten up the cast this week. 3 hours is just really, really long, and I have other
2.5.
It was 3 hours.
It was 3
and
hours.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I mean this week will be
Oh.
2.5.
No, it will not because I have another video I have to edit tonight and some other stuff to do. We all have lives, and I have kids, and I know OJ has one. So
Yeah.
staying up super, super late all the time isn't always good. So let's just hop right into Almost Smash. Normally we do a topic rundown. I don't really know where this cast is going to go because I don't know that any of us necessarily expected Smash Bros. To be coming to Switch just yet. Now, we've known since the Direct. I'm like 99% sure that it's a new game. I know there's still people believing that it's a.
And last
it's a
week
port.
you said it was a port.
That's because that was immediately after the Direct, right? Before I did any research. Like all I knew was okay, we got the Wii U Inklings, and they put Breath of the Wild link in there. Well, of course they did.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm like, going off of that, it's a port. Plus there was that rumor it was a port as well. So I really didn't have like any additional information. Now we have lots of additional information. At least I don't know if you call it a lot. We have some additional information. Basically, like tweets from Sakurai talking about how he's been working on it like every day, making it sound like it's new, but whatever. There's the copyright thing, but then they also did that with Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What else? There was a whole bunch of stuff. I was going through it in a different video. Now I don't remember any of it.
Nice.
The evidence for and against, but like there's more evidence for it being new than
Nice.
against being new. The reality is we don't know 100% for sure, but I'm confident this is a new game. Are you guys?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident.
I'm pretty confident based on the fact that if you look at all of Nintendo's other ports that they've done so far, they've never done a CG trailer for a port with a working, and then also had it with a working title. That's never happened.
Yeah.
From what I can see, so that would be extremely weird if it's a CG trailer, new characters, whatever the case is. Looks like Link's going to be completely redone, and then all of a sudden it has a working title, so it doesn't have a final title. Then all of a sudden, oh, it's Smash Brothers Definitive Edition. So that would be really weird. The first time that they've ever done that, yeah. So or Smash Brothers Wii U Definitive Edition. So that would just be weird if they did.
No, it had to be Wii U and 3DS Definitive Edition. Oh no!
For
Surprise.
Nintendo Switch.
Don't give Nintendo ideas.
For Nintendo Switch.
Although I do feel that the game is going to be based off of like let's say like the engine. I do feel it's going to be based off the Wii U. Like I think that they're just going to port that over. I do feel that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to create a whole new engine from scratch for the same results, 1080p, 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
so.
It's one of those things that I don't think they need to create a new engine.
Yeah.
Because Smash itself is sort of, I mean, I know it's been different every generation, but it's kind of sort of an iterative franchise, and it's doing like the same thing every time, or mimicking the same thing every time. But in the past, because of upping resolutions and different hardware, it made sense to kind of build up a new engine every time. But even though we use different architecture than the Switch, it's still, an engine that runs at 1080p 60 FPS, which is all they really need. Obviously, tweaking it to the different hardware, but yeah. And I actually think maybe that's why it could be a new Smash that we're getting so fast. Because you think about it, I don't think we've ever had a Smash Bros. Game release roughly 2.5 years after the last Smash Bros. Game. Now, part of that's because the Wii U generation was obviously cut short. That plays a role. Because we only get one Smash per generation. But still, the quick turnaround time, it's like, well, if they don't have to build an engine,
Yeah.
they can just focus on characters and items and what
Sorry,
they want
Prime.
to
Did you say 2.5 years?
something like that.
It's 4 years now. It'll be 4 years
What?
by the time that it
What?
2014.
Man, I am getting old.
Wow.
That's all I
It's
can
all
say is
good.
I'm getting old. 2.5, it's 4 years. Oh, my bad. Okay, so
Yeah.
I take that back. They could have built a whole new engine from scratch.
Yeah. Right.
Look at that. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
No,
Oh,
it's
and-
okay. I think maybe you're talking about N64 to Melee. That was
Maybe.
kind of a closer time period.
Yeah,
So-
maybe. I don't remember. Wow, that was a big brain fart.
And this is the reason why we have him on.
Yeah, exactly. He's on the fact check me at every corner. At every corner, I need it. I need it because my guy next to me, much as I love this man, he doesn't do like any research. I don't even think he read the topic list before we got here. He just knew we were talking
I
about Switch.
did.
Oh,
I did. I read it at work.
okay. Did you do any research?
No. I'm at
I wasn't
work.
I wasn't even
Yeah, but
given
you
a
haven't been at
topic
work for the
list,
last even here.
Shush. I've
You
been
weren't-
playing cash show.
We've been playing trivia shows.
Yeah.
On it. Yeah, that wasn't all you were doing. That only takes like 5 minutes and you get eliminated.
Hey, I went further than you did.
Oh, whatever. And then we have Darren over there. I have no idea what that guy does with his time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I
Eats-
mean,
eats
neither do I,
Doritos.
to be honest.
Neither do I. So I guess we'll just get into kind of where I wanted to start things off with, and this is obviously talking about the roster. This is usually the biggest deal people make out of it. Last generation they started selling individual characters. For starters, do you want them to sell individual characters again? Does anyone?
Nope.
Do I want them to as a consumer? No.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean,
it's a
the
good
thing is, like,
business
I don't
move.
think anybody wants to spend extra money, but
I would like all DLC free for the rest of my life as a consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That'd be
well,
great.
do we want them? Okay, let me rephrase that again. Then, do we want them to add extra characters after the game releases?
If they're developed after the game releases.
Well, I would
Yeah.
assume so. Well, you never know. These days, Well, I don't know if Nintendo.
Nintendo
Nintendo
did
have a lot
that
of
with, I
games
don't know
where
if they did that with Smash 4, but they definitely,
I don't
or
think
at
they
least
did
they
that with Smash
definitely
4.
claimed they did that with Mario Kart 8. All the DLC for that was developed post-game.
Yeah.
And I would hope that is the case for Smash 4.
Yeah,
And the
yes.
next upcoming
Smash 4 definitely was developed afterwards because Mewtwo was the first DLC character and he wasn't even ready. Like they were still as the game was launching, he wasn't even ready to go. And then they just showed us I think at the Smash Brothers Direct, they just showed us hey, if you buy both games, we're gonna release Mewtwo at some point. They showed some him in a 3D graphics engine, so he wasn't even ready. And then all the other characters came after that. There was some big deals. There was a character poll for Bayonetta, so we had to vote. Yeah, we had to vote, and then she came afterwards, and then Roy, that was afterwards. All that was afterwards, and you could tell it was disjointed. I play, just to let you guys know, just gonna give you a little bit of background. I play Smash competitively. I'm just lazy as hell, so I don't like to travel a lot. I don't like to travel much, but I play competitively, and you could tell that there's a little bit of it's just so weird because Cloud and Bayonetta were really good, and Mewtwo at the beginning Roy, Lucas, they're not very good. So you can tell like something happened in between, like I guess because like the third party characters, Cloud and Bayonetta, something happened between there in terms of like when they were developing it and balancing it with the rest of the cast, because Bayonetta is way too good. Cloud is way too good, but Cloud has a really big weakness. So I would hope that maybe, if they're going to develop, they plan it a little bit better afterwards, like after the release, just because there was just some really weird stuff kind of going on there. Because Lucas, Roy, and Mewtwo at the beginning, Mewtwo sucked. Those three were horrible. They did buff Mewtwo, but it just seemed a little bit off. That's all, in my opinion.
Okay, so yeah, I'll throw all of my money at Nintendo if they develop DLC after the main game is done. I want that.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, I'm of mind that I don't mind them adding new characters after. I don't like piecemealing characters. Like they did it with some stages too, like piecemealing characters and stages, charging you like $8. Like this is the kind of stuff that, at least me personally, I've chastised other companies for doing. But like with Nintendo, I can't just turn around and be like, "Oh, it's cool because it's Smash."
Yeah, Nintendo's DLC pricing is pretty good for the most part, but for fighting games like Smash and Pokken Tournament, I really don't think I think they were a little too pricey.
Well, the thing is, they know they're going to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So that, like, my personal feelings are they're going to do it again because it worked so well the first time. And it kind of saddens me because, whenever new characters are being added to Smash, it's always exciting, right? Like,
I'm having some pretty bad audio cutting right now.
Oh no!
I'm having trouble hearing you guys. I'm sorry.
That is not good.
Can you guys hear me correct?
Yeah,
nice?
you sound fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, some of you guys' audio was cutting out. I didn't hear like the whole last 2 minutes of what you guys were saying.
That is.
Or not 2 minutes.
I
sorry, like a minute. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's me. You guys just go ahead. Sorry about that.
No.
It's
It's
all
okay.
good.
It's okay. It's good to know when internet's getting choppy or something.
Okay.
All right. So I just don't like the piecemealing just in general. I've always been against it. I don't like when you think about it. Like for Hyrule Warriors, right? When that came out, it was $20 for the season pass. Same for Mario Kart 8. $20 for the season pass. Got a crap load of content, but then you pay $8 for a single character.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But they're gonna do it. It's like I have to almost accept it or not buy Smash,
Right.
because I know I'm gonna buy extra characters.
So it was
Smash.
per character and per stage?
Yeah.
If they were to bundle the characters and stages together, like if they brought in a new character from a different game,
I don't care. Not
And
at
then-
$8.
Well, they did. Didn't you? If you bought Cloud, you got his stage too.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was bundles for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They released them in bundles. Yeah.
Well, because I went through. This was happening before Smash was announced. I actually went through because I was adding up the total of the DLC. I went on the website and see, okay, to get all of the DLC, it had to spend over $40 or something. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this really isn't that much content for $40.
Mm-hmm. It should be almost a whole new game.
Well, I mean, it is. It's almost the price of another Smash game. It is the price of the 3DS Smash game.
Right.
So I sat there and I'm like, I don't know if I really want to support them doing that. So it's like, I like the idea of new characters, but then I don't like the idea of what it costs. Like if it was a season pass and it was just straight $20 and you just get all new characters they want to release. I mean, yeah, you don't know how many they're going to make. But, you can at least look at the pass
They make one.
and be like, well, we know how many they added last time. So
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If just Cloud was $20, I'd still buy him. I'd be outraged.
You're not
that's the
helping.
thing.
I'd be outraged, but I'd still buy him.
Well,
You're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. Dude,
Yeah.
I openly admit I'm part of the problem
Yeah.
sometimes
No,
too,
for
and that's
sure.
why I recognize that when it comes to some of this DLC and the microtransaction stuff, that I am totally part of the problem. I will advocate not to do it, but then on certain games I end up doing it anyways, and it makes me wonder if I just need to accept that this. I mean, this is the way gaming's going, so I need to accept it to an extent. But do I just sit back and say, you know what? You only live once. You don't need money when you die. Then again, Someone's got to pay for my funeral, I suppose.
But you need to play Cloud and Smash.
Need to play Cloud and Smash.
Yes.
Well, one thing I want to talk about, because like adding these additional characters, like how many characters were there in Smash? Was it 45 last time?
50 default.
Oh,
50 default, then
okay.
like I think 5 downloadable. Bayonetta, yeah, Bayonetta, Mewtwo, Cloud, Roy,
I'm trying to think what the other one is.
Lucas, and then five.
So 55.
Corrin, also Corrin as well.
Okay.
So yeah, 5 or 6 DLC
All right,
characters.
so somewhere around 50, 55. So,
50.
you know, even just hearing that number, and like when I played it, I don't own it right now, but when I was playing it on 3DS and Wii U, I remember going to that character list. I'm like, dude, this is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of characters in here, and I guess my one issue with the roster isn't that there's a lot of franchises represented. Like that's
Too many Fire Emblem characters.
no, too many Fire Emblem characters. For sure. Too many Sword characters.
Yeah.
That play very, very similar to each other. And
then you got Dr. Mario in there for whatever
well,
reason.
and I guess this gets to the point of, are there any characters that from the current roster? Because I guess we'll just look at the past games, the current roster. You know, they're not going to bring all those characters back. At least they usually don't. They usually swap out some, but let's just assume that's the starting roster where they're considering for the next game. Like, what characters do we want cut? Do we even want cut, or do we just want more? Do we just want to say, you know what, we're at 55, let's get it up to 100. Let's just add everything.
I don't want any characters cut. That's
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard because like the people ask me, "Oh, which Sword character do you want cut?" I'm like, I don't know.
You could cut every Fire Emblem character. I would not care.
No, that would be a horrible idea.
No, Fire Emblem's amazing. It's one of their best franchises. Come on, man.
I know. I'm just not a Fire Emblem fan.
I admit there's
I
too
want to see
many.
the salt.
There's too many Fire Emblem characters, but I don't know how to cut that back because every single one of them I love. So OJ's over there is like, dude, I love them all. Don't cut anything.
No, I wouldn't cut anything because they cut my main from Brawl. So I mean,
who's
they
that?
cut Wolf, and I
yeah.
love Wolf, and they cut him. They cut lots of other
cut
people's mains too, like Snake. A lot of people played Snake because Snake was actually one of the viable characters in Brawl,
Sure.
they cut Snake, and
Well,
they cut Ice Climbers, Ice Climbers was also a very good character in Brawl too. So they cut Ice Climbers. So I would like to see those characters come back. I mean, that was where I'd start from. It's like, okay, well, bring back those characters at least, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
I highly doubt they would cut my main.
okay.
What? We Fit Trainer?
Player Essence. Is there ever a point where Smash could have too many characters for you?
Too many characters. No, I don't think there's a point because there's still, like, if you look at what people want, people are still saying, like, man, they need to add this character, they need to add this character. I mean, there's no Golden Sun representation. There's only one character from F-Zero. So, I mean, I guess, like, what they could do is, like, I mean, like, let's say you cut Lucina, you know, because Lucina is a clone of Marth. So you just, like, cut Lucina. And then you add in maybe like a Fire Emblem, or sorry, not a Fire Emblem, like an F-Zero character, something from the F-Zero world, or maybe you add in one more Star Fox since they cut a Star Fox character. So, I mean, I don't think that there's ever too many, unless it starts diluting the gameplay, unless you start seeing like a lot of people play similarly. Like, let's say you start getting a lot of like Pit, Dark Pit, you know, or like stuff like that, then okay, then that's too many like when you're doing that. But if it's individual, unique characters that can, you know, that can broaden the gameplay and just make it to where like to where it can be really competitive and fun, then no, I think that they should continue adding. But I don't want to see too many like, okay, like, you know, because they add these clone characters just because it's easy to do, and it's either you get the clone character or you don't get anything. They have a certain number of slots they can do for new characters, and they use up all those slots, and then like, okay, well, just to add a little bit more variety, we'll do this and we'll change up some properties, which is good for competitive play because some people honestly do like Lucina over like Marth. Like that, there's actually a big difference between the two because of their blade. You know, like tippers for Marth. If he hits with the tip of his blade, Marth can kill you very quickly. Whereas Lucina, she's more consistent, so she's a little bit more for beginners. But at the same time, I mean, she's more consistent. You're going to be more consistent with your kills. So, I mean, I can understand them doing that. That's mainly for competitive players. But at the same time, I don't want to see like a ton of that. So I think to kind of round up what you're trying to say, like I don't want to see it to where there's like 70 characters and like, you know, 20 of them or 25 of them are like, oh, well, it's just, like Dark Marth and like Light Marth and like Sunshine Mario and regular Mario.
15 different Marios.
Dr. Mario. I don't understand why those can't just be skins.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, right.
Some of them, especially the Mario in particular, like Dr. Mario, as cool as it is.
Yeah, it should just be a skin.
It could just be a skin.
Right.
To be honest. Yeah, it's interesting to me because I've always felt like, obviously I started way back on the original Smash Bros. I'm sure a lot of us did on the N64, which I think that character list was 8 or 10.
No,
I can't
it was
remember.
more than that.
It was really 12.
I was gonna say
I know it was pretty small. I used to be able to name them all off the top of my head, but now I can't. Well, I probably could, but I'll probably end up mixing it in with some other ones.
You can try, and I'll correct you if you're wrong.
Yeah, all right. Let me see. Hold on. Let's do this right now. Can I? Nate, name the original Smash Bros. Roster. Okay, there's Pikachu. Know that. That was my main. Link, Mario. Okay, before I get to any of the Mario characters, because I can't remember which other ones were again. Samus. That's 4.
Are you trying to name off all the original characters?
Yeah. Oh, look who popped in. Boundary Break. What is up? She says.
Hey.
Little late to the
Need
cast.
some help there?
No,
You got
this
Yoshi,
is
Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Captain Falcon, Luigi, Mario, Fox, Link, Samus. Dang. Oh, I'm starting to fall short now too.
Oh no.
Pikachu, Kirby, and Ness.
Yeah.
And, is that it? Is that it?
You're missing 2.
Oh man.
DK?
Did I didn't say DK? My bad.
I don't know.
Then you're missing. I thought you said DK. But
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I must have missed that one because that was my main.
The 2 I think you missed.
Wow.
One of them was Yoshi. And
Oh,
then-
Yoshi.
He said
Yeah.
Yoshi, I thought.
Oh, did he say Yoshi? Okay, did he say
thought so.
Jigglypuff?
Yep.
I did say Jigglypuff, but I don't think I said Yoshi. That's
I think
Okay.
somewhere in all
Somewhere
of this
in
we
there we got
have
'em
the
all.
whole original roster.
You guys got anyway. There's only 12, so I'm pretty sure.
That was the worst.
Hey, Martin, you want to go through and just make a mark
Yeah,
of everyone that we have?
and then if we're missing one, throw it to the. You guys forgot this one.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Oh man, it was funny too because like I'm sitting there trying to name out the original roster, and Player Restless was gonna correct me if I got it wrong, and all of a sudden it pops Boundary Break. Like, hey, so yeah, the original roster, I got this. Blah 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 blah. blah. Oh, that's all good.
trying to
Welcome,
come in
man.
for the rescue, and I still messed it up.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Happens.
Nice to have you in here, even though you showed up late. So yes, for everyone listening, this is She Says from Boundary Break back again for the
Hello,
Smash
hello.
Cast. So we were just talking about before that the number of characters in Smash. Like, is there a number that's too much, or is it just keep adding galore?
Oh, they can never be too much.
There we go. I
Fox.
knew that.
Did you
I
say
knew that you
Fox?
would agree with Player Essence. Am I the only one on the side that there's too many characters?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, basically.
You know, it's like I've always been on the fence where it's like if you couldn't have every character from the past game, then I would start thinking about cuts. But like if you can literally just have as many characters as before and then expand, sometimes double, then why not, right?
Oh my god, over $100. Let's
Put
do it.
100 characters in Smash, I'd love it.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
It would take me forever just to figure out what characters are in the game. I'm on the character select screen. Which one are
I don't
you?
think I even played some characters on Smash 4, and I really don't care. I'm glad they're there.
I think like if you get over 100 characters, I think at that point you should be able to customize the character select screen so that you don't lose track of where all your characters
And you can
are
put
that
your
you actually
favorites
want to play
together.
as.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I've actually lost track of like whenever like I'm playing back when I was playing Smash 4 a lot, and somebody would be like, "Oh, use this character," and I'm like, "Okay," and I can't find them on. There's just so many characters, and if I don't use that character normally, like I forgot where Little Mac was.
Yeah,
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
is Little Mac?
that was happening to me a ton when like every time I'd unlock a new character, I'm like, okay, I know that Little Mac is on this part of the screen, and then I get a new character and he'd be somewhere completely different. I'm like, oh great, 5 minutes, give me a second.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Well, is there a different way they could even have the character select screen be presented to make it easier?
Yeah, customize it for sure.
Well, besides custom, obviously user customization on everything fixes everything.
Oh yeah.
But there needs a majority of consumers are not going to customize everything.
Maybe it
Alphabetical.
lists the series like Super Mario
Oh,
Brothers,
or do that.
Legend of Zelda.
Well,
It's already organized like that.
yeah, they already
It's-
group them.
Well, yeah, but I mean like tabs.
Okay, tabs.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, get into tab territory.
I don't know about
that.
tabs.
That might complicate things.
Well, if they could color coordinate by franchise, I don't know if they could, but if they could, you could have each game be like the background color could be a different color. It'd be,
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure they could do that.
segmented.
Yeah.
So then, like, if you're like, oh, you need to find this character, well, you know what game it's from, so just go to that game's color, and then somewhere in there. That at least narrows it down your search. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I honestly don't know.
A type in search.
Type in search. That's right. Okay. Nintendo, use for your online app. Smash Bros. Section, type in character to select.
Yes. Attach
man.
keyboard at the bottom of your Switch.
But yeah, okay, so OJ's over there admittedly that like he plays Smash competitively when he can because he doesn't travel.
Good man.
She says, "What's your history with Smash?"
I started off with the original N64 game, and very casual play on that.
Yep.
And I would never try to play that competitively. I feel like it's meant to be played casually. Move over to Melee. I played it casually when it first came out, and then as Brawl got announced, that's when me and my friends started actually zoning in and just like playing to win, doing one-on-ones with no items, Fox only, Final Destination.
Oh boy, there it is. I was wondering who was going to say that first.
Became a huge deal. I remember like I thought I was the bee's knees when it came to competitive play. I was like the best out of my group of friends, and
That's the way everyone feels.
Oh, yeah.
I would watch like footage online. I'm like, what makes these guys so great? And I would say that on a forum, and like one guy was just like, hey, I live in your area. If you want, I can come over and we can play. And he was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So I got all my friends there. I was humiliated. I couldn't even recover correctly without him just completely exploiting it. And at that point, I was like, I have to keep getting better. I have to keep becoming the best in my area. That was my goal.
Sure.
And then when Brawl came out, it became really good, but the competitive community turned their backs on it. So I got really good at a game that no one cared about. I was a Wolf main at that point. And then Smash 4, I kept that legacy going. I started actually meeting up with other competitive players in my area. And I got pretty good, but obviously I was never like a tournament winner after everyone got acclimated to the game. But I like to play competitively.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay, so I think this actually helps frame the conversation. Because our two special guests, they love the competitive side of Smash.
Mm-hmm.
They're big into it, as much as they can reasonably be into it. I'm on the casual side entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I have played every Smash Bros. Game. I've owned every version of every Smash Bros. Game. I hate the GameCube controller.
No.
So that alone already gives me multiple enemies on this podcast right now.
Thank God Sakurai disagrees. That's all I can say.
Like, my number one wish for this game is that they do not allow you to use a GameCube controller anymore.
Why?
That
Why would you
doesn't
want
make any
less?
sense.
That makes no sense. Why would you want that?
Because I'm of mind, and I know this. See, you guys are competitive, so like I know it's way different in the competitive scene, but I'm of mind that any multiplayer-based game, the default main controller, the best way to play should be based around the controller that comes with the system. So in this case, it would be the Joy-Cons. I know that sucks because the Pro controllers are, in my opinion, better. But even if it's the Pro controller instead, because it's got the same layout at least as the Joy-Cons essentially. Just I think more travel on the sticks. I think we can kind of agree on that. Mm-hmm. I'm just of mind like the GameCube controller is so old, and I like the analog triggers. I miss that. I wish that was a thing Nintendo had kept around. I understand why they don't have it. They're more prone to break than a digital trigger, but come on, how many of us have broken our analog triggers on GameCube controllers? I've never broken one. I don't play competitively though, so.
Yeah, those things are built to last.
Yeah, the GameCube analog triggers are legit, but I liked the GameCube controller back in the day. But I just feel like everything has moved past the GameCube controller, and the only reason it's still around is because of the Melee people. They won't let it go. They literally cannot let go of a controller they mastered.
The Melee people.
I'm serious. Okay, the Melee competitive scene blew up. And then they completely shat all over Brawl, which is fine. They didn't want to get good at a new game. That's basically what it was.
No, that wasn't what it was.
That's the way I view it. I view it as like, I don't care. They changed this. It's not as fast. It's not this. And I'm like,
character balancing and game speed and also the tripping.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different type of Smash game.
But
they didn't want to get good.
I just this isn't even really the main point of the conversation here, obviously. But I just want to throw in real quick. I feel like people didn't understand that Brawl was meant to be more of an aerial combat version of Smash Brothers. Like I kept myself off the ground, and when I did that, and as well as my opponents, like it was still really intense. It's just you got to keep yourself off that ground, otherwise you're gonna keep falling.
Who knew? If you don't stay on the ground, you fall. Yeah. If you don't get off the ground, you fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And the thing is, this is obviously coming from a casual perspective. I have been deeply embedded in the Nintendo community forever, so I'm constantly around people who play Smash competitively, everywhere. Even on this podcast, even on Twitter, everywhere. I'm around people all the time that are playing it competitively. And I just keep saying, look, I understand you mastered certain grips and certain techniques with GameCube controllers. There's not a lot of very good GameCube controllers even left anymore to play competitively with in the first place. It's actually one of the complaints some competitors have is, Nintendo, bring the GameCube controller back so we can have more of them.
Did they re-release it?
They did.
They did. They did for a short run on Wii U. When they brought back the the USB hub thing for it.
Yeah.
So like they had a short run bringing it back. I don't think they manufacture them anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen a new one on shelves in a while.
Well, now it's past its prime. I mean, like nothing uses it. So.
Well, and that's kind of my thing. Like to keep bringing back a controller basically for one game, to me, it is just why. Why can't we just make the current players get good with the current controllers?
But
why do they got to hold on to something for 2
I don't understand why we have to take away an option.
Because that option doesn't level the playing field. What it does is it says, look, because this user is a pro at using this controller, they've been using such Melee, this other person comes in and is trying to play competitively with the other. And I'm not trying to argue that one controller gives an advantage over the other, besides potential input lag over wired versus non-wired, and you could get wired controllers. That's not really an issue.
Right.
It's one of those things that when I see people play competitively, the one thing I hate, I don't know how often this happens, but a couple times I've watched Evo even, is players using different controllers. To me, it's just baffling. Like when you went to the arcades and played competitively as a kid, everyone used the same controller. You had the same joystick, the same buttons. So, like, to me, for the field to be completely level, everyone should really be using the same controllers. And I just don't think those controllers should be ones that came out in 2002.
Well, see, I would argue that using an arcade stick is like a handicap more than like a benefit. Like, the people that use those, they're acclimated to it. Like, they grew up playing off of the arcade
That's what I say about the GameCube controller.
But, like, let's be honest, when you're using an arcade stick, you're using an oversized controller. So, like, you don't really get a tactical advantage by using an arcade stick.
Sure.
It's just a preference. So in the same vein, if you're playing Smash Brothers, nothing technically should make you at a disadvantage for using a pro controller. It's just that, dude, I've been playing Smash Brothers since Melee competitively, so it's I love using that GameCube controller.
Well, that's the same as his game for the joystick. The reason that people like using the game pads is because that's what they're used to. As I said, they're afraid of getting used to something
available. There shouldn't be a problem one way or another.
GameCube controller needs to die. It just needs to die. I know. I don't want to make this whole podcast about the GameCube controller, but I don't know how.
Since you're coming from a casual point of view, right? So if you're coming from a casual point of view, I think that would be good to have as many control schemes as possible. So, like, let's say somebody wants to use this inside your house, they can use that. Somebody wants to use
but everyone I guarantee
filthy casual.
We'll be able to play with split Joy-Cons, right? Right, that's gonna probably be a thing. Split Joy-Cons, just like when there was Wiimote back in the day. You could use Wiimote nunchuck. You could use Pro Controller. You could use just a Wiimote with the D-pad. But nobody wanted to use anything but the base controller. Like they wanted to use the full fat Pro Controller. Because anyone else felt like they were at a disadvantage using any other control scheme. So even casually, this was like a thing in a house. It's like playing Mario Kart. No one wanted to play with tilt controls.
You know what? All right, hold on. I appreciate your extremist opinion, and I'm gonna provide a counter one for you.
Sure.
I feel like they should just get rid of items. Like items should not exist anymore because it gives casuals a chance to win. And you know, I don't like that.
I'm of mind that competitive play should include.
I'm of the mindset that, you know, I studied the game really hard, and I don't like the idea of someone grabbing a mega hammer and just killing me instantly.
Yeah, get
I
rid
feel
of
like we should just get
those
rid of it
items.
completely.
Yeah, just get those out of there.
I understand your counter, and mine is that competitive play should always include items.
Oh my god.
It'd be more entertaining for me to watch, let me tell you.
And it can only be
Unfair.
played on a Wii balance board.
You'll get no competitive players to go risk money and flights and all that to play with the
Balance
random,
board.
the random chance of
Well,
items.
the thing is, I always say, if you're really that good, it shouldn't matter.
Oh,
I could have an
does.
instant kill item. You should be so good at
Nate,
avoidance.
come
You should be so good at
last
avoidance.
week
and it's not
I
gonna
was
happen.
the bad guy. Last week I was the
I'm
bad
the-
guy.
oh, I knew I was-
voicing my
I knew-
heretic opinions. Then this
Here's the
week
thing:
it's
when I invited these people on, I knew I was going to be the enemy of this podcast. I am literally losing thousands of followers, and they're running off the player essence, and they're
you're
running
not
off
gonna-
the
No,
barter
you're-
break right now.
that's not gonna happen. That's not. Gonna, look, I mean, look. Here's the thing. Like the thing about it is this: like most competitive players, if let's just say Zero was here playing against Alves, he'd still destroy us with items on. Just to let you guys know, he destroys because he destroyed other competitive players all with items on in the 2014 Smash Brothers Open. That thing had items that Nintendo televised or whatever that was
Yeah,
at E3 or whatever it was.
That was entertaining.
Yeah, he still beat everybody with items on. So he'll beat most people with items on or items off. The problem is that like people don't want to go into it risking thousands upon thousands of dollars whether you're gonna with a roll of the die. You know, that's not how competitive is. Competitive gaming is built on, you know, having a fair playing field, and that items are just not a fair playing field. You know, I mean, if you'd want to make it fair with the game, everybody uses standard controller. Items would just make it. That's not fair at all because sometimes an item just appears right in front of somebody and they get an unfair advantage over someone else. So I mean that wouldn't be good. And like I said,
Sure.
I don't think anybody would want to go to tournaments for that. So
And,
that's
and
the
as I
reason
said,
why.
well,
Even
and as I
money
said,
wasn't
my
involved.
counter. What?
My mindset is just, you know, like I keep training, I keep getting better. I get used to all the characters and what they can do and what they're capable of. I study my opponent and what his habits are and what he's going to do. And when that's all just kind of moot because you know, like a star lands right on top of someone's head, it just like it takes everything away from that I've been like, you know, training for, like getting better at. You know?
Or does it
So-
because now you start training for items to be on in the first place?
But
It's
there's
random.
no
Still
random
unfair,
element
though.
can't be accounted
It's
for.
random, but if you train for every single item,
You
Oh, I
can't
mean,
train-
like I
you
know
can't
what
train
all the
those.
items do. You know, that's the thing is you can figure out what every item does, and I have. Of
Well,
course,
sure,
and
sure.
I still play with it, but like, the in which they spawn, when they spawn, how they spawn, like all those things, and what spawns, you can't account for that. Unfortunately, that's just a completely.
No,
random
I hear what you're saying. Like, obviously, when I thought, like, from the casual side, obviously, I love items, just like I love items in Mario Kart. But I also, like, when I watch, right, because, like, I watch competitive sports, like esports and stuff. Like, and I watch a lot of the Smash Bros. Competitive, and I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, okay, I see the skill levels, right? I see it. But watching these same players, you know, as they advance and watching them play and watching it looks like the exact same thing the whole way through. And I just get bored after watching the same player play 3 different players in a row. I'm just like, okay, there's no entertainment value to me in watching this as someone who actually likes watching.
So when you're watching it, I'm assuming you're like, it's the same characters.
I mean,
it's the
I
same-
appreciate the skill set. Like when I see some perfect grabs and some insane stuff going on, I'm like, okay, I appreciate the skill.
Mm-hmm.
That's entertaining when you see a master pull something off that you like. Very low chance you could pull it off.
Yeah, the entertainment from it comes from the idea of understanding the people that you're watching. So like there's one guy who's incredibly good. You know for a fact, you've seen him enough times, he's like tricked so many players into doing certain things that he wants them to do, and he wins so flawlessly. Now when you pin him against another guy who's just as good, who's going to win out, who's going to outsmart who, and who's going to do it in real time.
Oh, sure, I get that.
Yeah. So it's like when you understand both players
Sure.
to an intimate level, that's when it gets to be really exciting to see competitive play.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. To me, it's just like I don't think I obviously am not deeply ingrained in the competitive scene. I think obviously people that are, they know the players. But I think a lot of people, like when they see these YouTube streams pop up, or they see this stuff on Twitch, or they see it on Nintendo, like obviously Nintendo has items on for theirs. But when you start seeing even some of the stuff up here on TV, a lot of the people watching don't even know who these people really are. They might know one, like maybe they know who Hungry Box is or something because he's been at Nintendo events. But they don't really know most of the competitive players they're seeing. So for them, they might not really get that entertainment value of understanding the ins and outs of what makes this entertaining. And I feel like for esports, like beyond, like even like in like League of Legends and how much that blew up in the esports scene, like there's some randomness to that as well. And that randomness actually has led to it becoming one of the most popular things to stream in the world and most popular competitive events. And that doesn't mean there's no skill. There's tons of skill. I get wrecked by anyone who plays that competitively because I don't even play those kind of games. But it's kind of like that when as an onlooker going on, I'm like, what can make Nintendo, like my ultimate goal, this is, I don't know even if the Smash community wants this, but my ultimate goal is that to see Nintendo support the competitive Smash community entirely. Like 100% be all in. Not just with their own Nintendo World Championships, but like even tossing money at EVO or some other events and start getting these prize pools up and start. I don't know if they should sponsor players themselves. That might be a little biased, but
yeah, that they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. Like support.
I
the
know
events.
what you mean though.
Yeah.
Sponsor the events, not the players.
They sponsor some events. So some events will get like Nintendo will pay a venue fee, which is a big deal, you know. So they'll do that, but it's definitely nowhere near the level of let's say the Overwatch League, you know, or like League of Legends, like that. It's nowhere near.
Yeah, and I want Nintendo to do that.
Pretty steadfast in saying we're not going to pay players, we're not going to put pot bonuses. So I mean, I would like to see them support a little bit more too. I mean, I'm in that camp as well.
And I feel like to get to that level, they need to get a bigger and bigger audience watching it, so Nintendo knows. Okay, this is a massive audience. We can't keep ignoring it. We need to get in on this. And
I mean, I was just gonna say I can understand why competitive players would want to see Nintendo invest more, especially when you have so many other companies that you can contrast with, like you mentioned with Overwatch and stuff. Sure. But like, to me, I just find it really exciting that they're getting involved at any level. Yeah. You know, at one point, especially when Brawl came out, you had lots of interviews where Sakurai was saying like, "This is not a fighting game. You know, this is not a competitive game." He was going on record saying that stuff, and I was like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah, I remember that. I'm just like, just crap all over half your community.
Right, exactly. I was like, you don't have to fracture your audience like that. I didn't understand. And
I just attempted to do that.
Went out of his way to make sure that that was not a competitive game. Anyways, it's great that we went from that to Nintendo now actually sponsoring some competitive events and stuff like that. Like that to me is incredible. That Nintendo's willing to actually start putting their foot out even a little bit. They're dipping their toe in the pool. Like I can't believe it. You know, at one point they were just like 50 feet away from it. They were like, "I don't swim." Bye.
No, at one point they're like, "No, you guys aren't going to actually do this at all." Like it was.
They're trying to take the pool.
They were trying to take their pool and go home. They had Triforce Johnson come in and save the day. Literally it was literally like one or two guys that had to explain to them what was going on. I think it was EVO 2014, maybe 2014 or 2020 EVO 2014 or 2013. One of those two. I think it was 2014 though.
What happened?
Nintendo was about to shut down Super Smash Bros. Melee at EVO because it got really big. So Melee came back to EVO that year. And like on the big stage, and Nintendo had gotten word like they were playing it, and they're like, okay, whatever, you know. But then they gotten word that there was a bunch of different sponsors, and the sponsors were going to be showing off like banners and doing certain things, you know, like how EVO does it. And Nintendo wasn't contacted at all, and they didn't want certain brands being associated, or they wanted to know about their brands. And EVO was like, no, we're not going to talk to you, whatever, you know, just like whatever, kind of like blew them off, I guess. Apparently, and then Nintendo's like, okay, you're going to do that, all right? Then we're just going to cancel this whole thing. Then, like, no Smash Brothers at EVO. But then Triforce came in, who's an ambassador, and talked to them because Triforce, he owns Empire Arcadia, which he's had Smash Brothers players before, like Mewtwo King before. He's had other guys like Justin Wong, you know, before then, which he didn't play Smash Brothers, but just Justin Wong is a big GC guy. So Triforce had to come in and let them know, like, no, this is what's going on. The brands aren't doing anything. There's not anything malicious. They picked the brands like carefully, and Nintendo was like, all right, that's cool. So Nintendo almost actually took the whole so it's good to see the transformation from that to where we are at this point. It's a long
baby
way.
steps, baby steps.
That's great.
Yeah. I almost felt like the way they used to treat that they're starting to accept it more. I mean, even we've seen them attempt to push like Splatoon 2 into the competitive scene. Like to see them embrace it a little more has been nice, because the way they used to treat Smash and other, any sort of esport that had any sort of money involved in it, almost felt like,
Well, if they're not making it, they don't want you to. They don't want you to have any part of it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it kind of sort of felt like what they do on YouTube. Like if you're using our stuff, if you're playing one of our games, how dare you make money on that? That's kind of the way that they still sort of are on YouTube a little bit. There's workarounds.
Mm-hmm.
But, if Nintendo figures out the workarounds, or I should say if the automated system figures out those workarounds, then Nintendo's going to take away those workarounds as well. Because that's just what they do. So I would, in the same way they're starting to, well, maybe,
relax a little
I
bit.
actually had a thought about this as a YouTuber, because I did a live stream of the Nintendo Direct, and they never copyright claimed it. And I was surprised. They've always copyright claimed every other one I've done.
Yeah.
So I almost thought, are they learning? Is this a baby step? Or is this just a mistake that got through the filter, because now apparently it's an ad on YouTube? The whole Direct's an ad on YouTube now.
Wait.
So maybe they decide, because we're going to make an ad on YouTube, we can't just copyright claim our own ads.
So there's a half-hour ad?
Yes, 33-minute. Oh, there's longer ones than that on YouTube.
Good Lord.
Yeah, there's longer ones than that. And there are certain YouTubers that turn on you cannot skip the long video ones. So if you want to watch their video, you have to sit through it all.
Bye.
Yeah, and like you'll refresh the page to try to get a different ad, and you'll just bring the same ad back up, and you're like...
And it starts from the beginning.
And because obviously those ads are the highest paying ones, but no one's going to sit through that but yourself.
No, exactly. Well, so much for that.
Yeah, I turned that off.
What would be ironic is if the 22-minute ad was playing off of like a Game Explain video where they're just like, Nintendo announced Smash Brothers. Goodbye.
Oh, jeez. All right, so getting back into a little bit more talk here on the Smash. We talked about roster sizes. Obviously, from the casual side, I view it as too much. You guys are like, no, add everyone. What do you think,
I think
I
they
can't
can
imagine, like, even if you're casual, like, I really can't imagine anyone being like, no more characters, please.
Well,
Okay,
let me explain this. Like,
bring them on.
As a casual player, right? Like when I load up Super Smash Bros. For Switch, which I'm stoked to play.
Mm-hmm.
I get to that character select screen, and the icons and everything is just so small, and I can't tell who anyone is. And I'm just sitting there like, what? Where's just the one guy I want? Okay, I found the one guy. I end up ignoring everyone else, and then I start feeling bad that I'm ignoring everyone else because I don't want to take the time to go through the whole damn roster to figure out who everyone is.
All the characters have
And I
names.
actually know who these characters are. But
I don't get this, because you just complained about DLC, so that you're like, well, they should just have the DLC. But now you're saying, oh, well, there's too much. So I mean,
no. Okay, let me put it this way.
I gotta find them.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know that sounded contradictory. I don't actually like the DLC. I don't like that we pay for extra characters. I think it's stupid. I think these extra characters, you know what they used to be called? Unlockables in the game.
Oh man,
that's what they used to be.
Your opinions are bad, and you should.
So wait
feel
a second. Okay, hold on. Let me just recap here. So you want less characters, no DLC, no GameCube controllers, right?
Yes.
and forced
So
items.
I got a great game for you. It's called Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Just play the
love it.
64. It runs at 60 frames per second. The resolution's not that great, but it's at 60 frames.
It is 60 frames.
But wait,
Hey, solid
that
60.
could have been his next complaint. The resolution's too good.
Oh, no. Too good. So when we play those 8-player smashes, I want to be doing that at 360p.
Just bringing it down, go all the way down with the graphics, go all the way down to 8-bit.
Oh,
Just cause 8-bit
Oh,
Smash.
No, that actually
That
there
actually
is-
would be kinda
there
cool.
Actually, is someone who did
Have
that.
you guys talked about
once.
what items you'd want to see in the game yet?
Not yet. That's coming up.
Because that's been one of my.
Sure. You know what? Let's just go to it now. Everyone's already hating
Why
me. Let's
not?
go to
Yes.
something that maybe we can agree on.
All right, cool. Well, it's funny that someone mentioned 8-bit because that's actually one of the item suggestions that I had back when Smash 4 was still kind of, pushing out new information. I thought like a retro item. I don't know what the item would look like initially, but if you throw it at an enemy, it gimps their moveset and makes them like 8-bit or like 16-bit depending on which era they came from, and they just get a limited moveset depending on what they had for available moves back then.
Oh God.
Oh jeez.
I think that'd be cool.
That I mean,
Just-
that would be
Just
that
the
would be
idea
cool.
of changing the aesthetic of the
Yeah.
character alone.
Yeah, no, that's actually kind of cool. Especially if it's a throwable item and you could throw it at other people to turn them into it.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. I
You
can
could also make it a special melee.
sure.
Or
Yeah.
whatever they call it this time around.
Yeah.
Darren, do you have any items you want to see added to the game?
I mean, I don't use items, so
Oh, I guess I'm just like a non-purist over here. My bad.
He's like, make sure they make the no item button really nice and big for me, so I don't have to work too hard
That's what
to
I
get
want.
to it.
We'll just make it
But,
default
I mean, as
items
far as
off
new
Final
items-
Destination.
As far as new items, I mean, something from Breath of the Wild would be nice. Maybe
That breaks after
one
one.
of the
One.
Yeah, I was gonna
detonation
say.
bombs or something like
I suppose
that.
there's an item. Who cares if it breaks? I mean,
Yeah.
they all eventually wear out.
Yeah. But something from Breath of the Wild would be nice.
stick.
Definitely.
A
You
stick.
just throw the stick from Breath of the Wild at him.
a stick.
Yeah.
A way to summon in a gold Lionel.
It's just a
Oh.
shield that you can surf on.
Yes.
This
Oh,
trophy.
yeah, if you could
Yes.
summon like a Lionel or a Bokoblin or
Oh yeah.
Well, that would be. Well, I mean that would be the trophy assist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, trophy
Yeah.
assist. Trophy assist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's something I could probably go on for like 30 minutes for. That would be appropriate for the next trophy assist.
Sure. OJ, you got anything you'd like to add item-wise?
Yeah, I'm not really too big on items, but I'd actually like to see, just for like, because I do play. Sometimes I'll play casually with my audience. Just Breath of the Wild stuff. That's kind of what I want to see. Some stuff from like a Splatoon. Some of the different powers from Splatoon, like the ink bombs or things like that. Those would be cool items to add in. So just any of the franchises that they add in. Once I actually know what characters they're going to put into the game, then I can think of items from each of those franchises that they can put in. But for right now, obviously, like we just know about Breath of the Wild, that's going to be new, and we know Inklings, so just items from those two different powers, assist trophies from those two would be great.
You got anything, Eric?
Items? No.
No,
I
not
got
for
characters.
items. You got characters?
I guess
Okay,
it's just me and
characters.
you, Nathan. It's just gonna be us.
Well,
We'll see what else.
let's see. What other items? Obviously, I'm always up for more Pokemon coming out of the Pokeballs, expanding that. The possibilities for that are pretty much as many Pokemon as they want to create and put in the game. Beyond that, obviously,
haven't
items for
had
Breath of the Wild is kind of a cop out because everyone else said that.
Yeah.
They didn't really say any specific
Odyssey?
items, by the way.
I
Well,
did.
the
I
Odyssey
said,
thing.
I said bomb.
Yeah, a bomb. Well, they don't need
Detonation
bombs.
bomb.
Oh yeah. Like there is the like an Odyssey. The only thing I keep thinking I want from that is some sort of Cappy moves for Mario. Or I guess there could be a Cappy item, I suppose. And you could basically have Cappy moves out of that.
Just take control of the player and then run him off the edge.
What would happen? What would happen if you throw Cappy at Kirby at the same time it sucks up Mario?
What?
My brain hurts.
Exactly what happened.
What happened?
So what's happening is Kirby is sucking up Cappy.
No. Well, yeah, that's probably how it would work.
Yeah.
But my idea, it was, I was thinking about this the other day, like because if Mario or if it was a special item that dropped, right? Because and what happens in Odyssey, you throw Cappy, it lands on someone, you control them temporarily. So I'm like, okay, so if I throw my cap and it lands on top of Kirby at the same time he sucks Mario into him, what happens?
Then you control the.
I mean, you
Mario
control
Kirby.
Kirby with myself inside of him.
No, it would. Their fighting games work with priority. So basically, whoever has priority on there would be the one who wins. It wouldn't do like a.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just like in my mind, I'm like, I can't imagine in real life if this like happened.
The game just freezes and explodes.
Just say you broke the game.
Your
done,
whole
dude.
system breaks.
You're done. You're out of here. Don't come up with
But
these
the-
impossible scenarios.
So to be honest, I think Kirby's suction power would win. Like
Yeah.
if I would think that would have priority over pretty much anything.
Probably.
Yeah,
Since it's item use versus base.
That would
exactly.
be
Yeah.
a cool item. A go-kart from Mario Kart,
Yes.
right?
Oh man, I was about to say, hey, that could be like
destroyed by items.
that could be like a
destroyed
Final
by Mario
Smash,
Kart.
and then I'm
Yeah.
like, well, wait a second, Final Smash for who? We got Animal Crossing characters in there. We got Link and Zelda in there, or just Link, I should say.
Oh, what's gonna? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like trying to create topics here. My bad.
No, it's
You're
cool.
good, you're
Go
good.
for it.
I was gonna say, what do you think Splatoon's the
Yeah.
Inklings Final Smash is gonna be?
That's tough.
I think it's going to be like the jet rocket thing, like where they just. Oh no, that was Splatoon 2, so maybe they won't have that because I don't know.
Yeah, because they went with the OG Inklings. So I'm trying to think back to
Yeah,
Splatoon 1. Some of the
Wasn't there
big
like a
attacks.
giant squid?
What?
Wasn't there a giant squid?
I think was that Splatoon 1 or Splatoon 2? I can't
I don't
remember. I
remember.
keep mixing them up.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the catfish, like maybe like it just
Okay.
comes out onto the stage and just does a bright light and does something. I don't know.
Callie Marie show up and DJ him to death or something. I don't know.
Turn him into
I also
a...
think they get some type of like up weapon blaster because you guys remember like in Brawl or even in Smash 4, like Diddy, he like goes like insane and starts like shooting his peanut pop gun everywhere, and he can fly with this barrel. So I'm thinking that they might. I mean, a cool one for me would be like you just get upgraded weapons, you get a better weapon, and then you have like ink all over the map, and people are just like slipping around, and like you can just kind of swim for a short amount of time and kind of shoot people up. You know, so I would think it'd be. I mean, that might be a cool Final Smash or like
Yeah.
final type of thing that they do. Not all characters have like a one attack like for Final Smash. Some of them have like a like they transform or something like that, you know, or they can affect the arena. So I was thinking that might be something cool for the Inklings.
Now, I'm really interested in how the Inklings, like what they're going to do. There's a lot of options. And just even how they control in general, right? Because like when you spray ink, the opponent moves slow in it and is getting damage while they move in it. But like that's all they do is spray ink all the time. So like, how do other players get rid of that ink if they're not also an Inkling? I don't know. Like they're gonna figure it out because Sakurai's working on it, and he has always figured out these complications.
Yeah.
So like I'm not worried that they're not gonna figure it out, but just like I'm trying to think like I'm Sakurai sitting in there and I have these Inklings and I'm like, dude, look at all this cool stuff. They are built to destroy. That's what they do. They destroy and ink everything. Okay. So now how do I not make them OP, but yet still make them just as good as everyone else?
They would have to be nerfed significantly from their games.
From what? From the game? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to be nerfed significantly from it. You'd obviously make. I mean, if they shoot a ink block and you block it, it's not gonna affect you. I mean, that's one thing that I know that they're probably gonna do. They're not gonna make it to where it's affect you. But maybe it's almost like you guys know Olimar, right? Like when Olimar, like when he has like a very projectile based game too. Like he'll throw a bunch of stuff at you, like Pikmin at you.
Yep.
So maybe they can do some type of thing like that to where it can affect you that way. There's also a Mii Gunner in that game that you can dress up like an Inkling. Maybe the play style is going to be similar to that too. So
maybe
I think the ink is going to shoot out as rapidly as it does in the games that they're from, and it's gonna behave exactly like Diddy Kong's bananas from Brawl.
Okay.
They just slip constantly, and you can cover the entire stage.
That would suck, but it's also been done before.
OP.
Diddy's horrible because he has 2 bananas in Brawl. In Smash 4, thank God he only has one, but in Brawl he has 2, which is just the worst ever, which is just horrible.
Bane of my existence was Diddy and Brawl. And
yeah.
I'm so glad they got rid of at least one of those bananas.
Yeah, man. I mean, even one banana sucks, but I mean,
Yeah.
even one banana is horrible to deal with.
I hear you.
Another, but Diddy's he's a terror to fight against a good
yeah.
Diddy player. It's really hard to fight against him.
So speaking of like new characters, it kind of seems like Breath of the Wild Link is obviously in the game. I assume it's not going to be a skin. To me, it wouldn't make sense if it was a skin on Switch, anyways. Breath of the Wild like represents Switch almost in a way, just being that launch game, that game that got everyone excited. Do you think there's going to be any new movesets there compared to what Link has been before?
So,
Yes.
okay.
I do. I'm just gonna say yes real quick. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I would love to be optimistic. I would love for it to be a new moveset, but like, I feel like if they just straight up were just like, here's Link, and by the way, it's Breath of the Wild Link. I feel like that's an indication that it's not a new moveset, but I want to be wrong. So just.
Well,
Please
I'm
let me
thinking
be
like
wrong.
they're gonna have to. I assume they're gonna keep a lot of the base stuff, because some of that's still in the game, spin attacks, blah 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 But I feel like maybe like some of the down Bs and up Bs could change. Like instead of a hook shot, it'd be something else for a grab.
Yeah.
No more boomerangs.
No more crappy hook shot grab. Well, they made it better, but I still don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he doesn't,
something.
He doesn't have a hook shot in
Breath of the Wild. I mean, they experimented with one, but never got added.
I just hope they make him like a glass cannon this time around instead of like a, slow character.
Instead of like a just sucks.
Yeah.
There's a reason that I always played as Toon Link.
That's exactly where my brain went. I was like, try to not say that.
Yeah, you don't want to be mean to the Link. I mean, but everyone knows Link is not very good. I mean, they try to they buff him every time with the patches. Oh, he does this, but he's just his base design is just horrible. Just not a good Smash character at all. Like, I mean, he has some tools, but I mean, the thing is, Toon Link's better.
I always play as Toon Link. Like when you go from Toon Link to Link, it's like okay, controls are very similar, but man, Link just gets wrecked. He's so slow at everything he does.
Yeah,
bad at recovery.
Yeah.
And Toon Link is just so much better. Even though your hits are less powerful, it doesn't matter.
I'm not getting hit as much
times.
The
recovery is easier. He's more like Toon Link's more floaty, and like Link just feels so heavy when you. I mean, Link, why do you feel like DK? You are not DK.
Yeah, they need a complete retool of Link. That's why I think that's why they showed him, because people have been complaining about Link being bad since like 64. Like Link's just been bad forever, and like I've never seen somebody get like patched to be better so many times and still be so bad. Like it's pretty funny.
I mean, my hope is that this is new from the ground up for Link. Like they're like, look, forget what we've done with him before. Let's just strictly look at this like we're adding a new character from Breath of the Wild. Look at what he does in there, and let's balance it out.
Yes, that would be great.
That's what I want them to do. My fear is that they're not going to. It's not going to be technically a skin, but it's basically going to feel like a skin is what I feel like is going to happen. Just because I don't know how much time they want to spend on a character that's already been in the game for so long. But it's obviously been an issue. I know this is a casual player. It's an issue. I won't even use him casually if I actually want to win. Unless I'm going up against my kids who aren't as good. Then I'll be like, oh, finally, I get to use this slow character that feels like a DK or a Bowser or something that weighs 3 times his weight for some reason.
Feels like he's got iron boots on.
Yeah, exactly. Constantly around the iron boots. Iron boots and magic armor. Just slow him down. For some ungodly reason. I kind of get it because they wanted to differentiate it from Toon Link. But still, it's like, dude, it's not that hard. Toon Link is supposed to be floaty. I get that. I'm not asking for Link to be floaty. I'm asking him to feel like the Link in the games. And Link in the games doesn't feel floaty, but he's a lot more acrobatic than it shows in there. And I'm not saying he's as fast as Fox McCloud, but then again, how do we really know how fast Fox McCloud is? I mean, because the games made him quick, of course. But, like, I don't remember him being that agile in Star Fox Adventures.
He's kind of fast in Star Fox Assault.
Yeah. You got me there on Assault. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not even complaining about Fox, by the way. Like, he's fine. But I'm just saying, like, Link feels like he should be a little bit more athletic than he is in Smash, in particular. Especially if they're using Breath of the Wild. Like, dude, that guy's climbing mountains. Come on.
He's one of the most important Nintendo characters. Just don't make him suck.
He's one of the mainstays on the cover of Smash. Like, I don't know. It always just feels like he kind of gets a short end.
Yeah, he does. He definitely gets. I mean, it's tough just because, I mean, there's so many characters at this point, but he's always been so bad, so it's not even like a good excuse. You know, it's not like he's never been that great. I mean, he has some tools, which is good. But it would be, my fear is that like they're going, okay, they get rid of he doesn't have the hook shot, right? It's Breath of the Wild Link, but then they just like replace it with like, I don't know, like that magnetic thing, and that thing's even worse than like like a magnetic like tether grab. You know, like I don't like tether grabs. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about them, but I don't like them. So
I hate them.
That's my thing. Is like I hope that. I mean, I like Link. I actually like playing Link, but I hate I can't use tether grab characters. So I'm hoping that they finally get rid of that. I'm hoping, but we'll see.
Okay, we have to get into this because we haven't talked about it yet, and I'm going to try to pull Darren in first because I haven't heard from him in a while. How's it going, Darren?
It's going.
What new characters do you want added to Smash?
Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight.
Didn't even have. I knew he was waiting.
He was ready.
he was waiting for it.
Waiting to interject that somewhere. Shovel Knight for Smash. I was a big Shovel Knight supporter in Smash 4, I actually got into an argument with this competitive player who I used to train with back when I had Smash 4.
Everyone's a competitive player with me and Eric. I swear.
And we would get into a fight. He wanted, I think he wanted Shantae,
Okay.
and I wanted Shovel Knight. Either one would be nice, but I'd rather Shovel Knight. Because, I mean, who doesn't want Shovel Knight in Smash? Come on, I mean, it's Shovel
I
Knight.
don't.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I can't remember what Shovel Knight wasn't included in that that other game, right? The indie one, the indie version of Smash.
I don't.
No,
Brawlout.
know
Brawlout.
yet.
Brawlout. No,
No, he
he's not
wasn't
in there.
in it
They got the Hyper Light Drifter dude.
Yeah,
They got
Hyper Light
the
Drifter.
Guacamelee guy.
Yep. Okay. I
Um,
was trying to remember that roster because I didn't buy that game due to apparently the online was really bad, and that's what I wanted it for.
Suppose I believe they're adding DLC characters though, so that could change.
Sure.
But yeah, Shovel Knight, I'd like to see that. I mean, as far as characters from Nintendo franchises go, besides Breath of the Wild, Link, I don't really know. I
All
mean,
4 champions.
I mean, I
Overload
would
the
say
Zelda.
something from Animal Crossing. Maybe like one of the animals, Blathers, Tom Nook. I'd like to see. Tom Nook
Blathers
in
was your
Smash.
first choice.
Yeah, Blathers. Blathers.
Yes.
This would be awesome. Or
Alright.
Tom Nook. Tom Nook would be cool,
There you
throwing
go.
bags of
Yeah,
bells.
he's
at
a
people
little more
and-
iconic, or a little more liked.
Yeah,
liked. I
yeah.
think-
Let's get Rover in there.
Come on, let's get Katrina in this. Come on.
Yeah, let's get Katrina in there. We need to get Gulliver.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Just
I was
port the whole
pretty
game in.
satisfied with the Smash 4
Phyllis.
roster. Phyllis, yes, Phyllis. You know, we get Mortimer in there or Tortimer.
Got
sorry.
some satisfaction though. It sounds like you are currently.
Yeah, I was satisfied. Besides the lack of Shovel Knight, with all the characters.
Shovel Knight's a big one for you. Okay.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's the big one. I'd like to see. I mean, they got Bayonetta in there, but I'd like to see some more indie representation.
Sure. Another Bayonetta is a shoe in to come back. They have Bayonetta
Yeah.
3 coming out.
Yeah, I'm
they already
sure.
have the character in the game. So, Eric, toss it at you because you haven't talked in a while as well.
Yep.
You
I
said
have
you had some characters ready. So
have 3.
Hit me. Hit me up. What you got?
2 of them that I know will never happen.
Oh, I know what those two are.
Yep. Banjo-Kazooie and Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day.
You know what?
Yeah.
Never say never.
Right.
I'm saying this because Microsoft's trying to get, like, they're building this cloud thing out to do streaming gaming, like kind of like what Sony does. And they want to get it out to all gamers someday. It's not going to be ready for years yet. But it might hit that point where it does release and it is able to subscribe to it through a Switch. And you might be able to play all the older games on a Nintendo system through streaming, which could open the door for that to happen. Not this Smash game, I don't
Right,
think, but
right.
like a one after it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also me just really, really reaching and hoping.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
I
well,
want
yeah,
them.
yeah. Right,
It-
right.
They
Yeah,
feel like they
Banjo-Kazooie is
belong
just
on the
such a
roster.
perfect fit.
They
Like,
belong.
just like all the movesets are there. You
Like
don't
they
even
are,
have to
they're
think.
totally Nintendo-like characters.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Conker-
though Conker's obviously
Conker
a
running
little
around
M-rated, but-
smacking people with frying pans, throwing wads of cash at people. You know. Then you got Banjo-Kazooie with shooting eggs and pooping eggs, and
just
and then
eggs everywhere.
and then you got your
Yeah, really.
your jump
Just
attack with the beak, your dash attack with the like
Yeah, his
football
forward
move.
air would be
Yeah.
the beak.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beak move. His down A would be the drill.
Yep.
the-
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
all there.
he's like built for it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all there.
Banjo-Kazooie.
His
then-
like his dash attack would
Yeah.
be Banjo swinging the backpack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the like the where he kind of goes down and then like the shoulder jab with Kazooie.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what I was talking about with the drill.
Yeah,
Oh,
the drill.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would work too.
sure.
If we're gonna be naming characters that we know are never going to come to Smash,
Well, that
Uh,
you
yeah,
already
I
named
Astro
one.
Boy.
You already named one, Darren. Shovel
Well,
Knight's not
true,
coming to
true.
Smash.
Astro Boy though. I mean, no one,
Okay.
no one thinks he's gonna come. to
Paperboy.
I would
I
love.
just love the instant
his
mocking
moves-
by she's like Astro Boy.
His moves are perfect for Smash, and Astro Boy Omega Fest.
Yeah, all right.
No,
You
I'll
know
give
what?
you that.
If we're gonna do that, then I want Popeye in there too.
Popeye.
Yeah, Popeye
Same,
from the
same
NES.
age. Yeah. Same level of relevancy. Astro Boy.
That is bad.
Yes.
That is bad.
Yes.
What's
Mighty
the third
Mouse
one
would
you
be
had,
great.
Eric? What do you got?
Okay.
What was the third one?
Third one
Sorry.
in the
It's okay.
Ice Climbers esque the Bubble Bobble characters.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, okay. Dude,
That'd be
if they
awesome.
could do Game & Watch, they can do
But
that.
what would you do for a moveset?
Bubbles.
Like,
Just
Yeah,
trap people in bubbles.
yep.
I don't
well,
know.
Mario
his
and
shield
Luigi in
move,
there
their
from
shield
Wrecking
moves would be
Crew.
perfect.
Yeah.
The shield move, yeah.
Yeah.
OJ, what character do you use? Oh, character or characters would you like
Is
added?
it third party characters that we're talking
All of
about?
the
here?
above. All of the above.
Oh, okay, yeah. For me, like the number one would be Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I would really want him in there because I think he kind of just like signifies like the mid '90s like RPG type of like
Sure.
just like what he did for that genre. So like Chrono would definitely be in there. I would want Isaac from Golden Sun. We have no Golden Sun representation, so I would like at least one character from Golden Sun. And then I'd also like I don't know what's the samurai dude from F-Zero. Like I would want him in there. I kind of want a little bit more representation from F-Zero. I want somebody else from
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
no, it's all good. Somebody from Golden Sun, so Isaac would be great, and then like Chrono would also be really good too. I mean, I'd really like that. There's probably some other characters that they could do that I'm not thinking about right at this moment. Like Wonder Red, I think Wonder Red would be cool from like Wonderful 101. Like another we already have Bayonetta, so I don't know if there's anything else from there. But I mean, like Arms characters like Twintel. I mean, I would like to see Twintel.
That'd be cool.
She's my favorite. She's my main in Arms, so Twintel would be cool. And probably my other number one would I would want like Rex, Pyra, Mithra, and like another Blade or whatever. Like I really would want to see that. Just as like that would probably if I could only have one, it would be Rex, and he'd be able to switch between 3 blades between Pyra, Mithra, and someone else.
Yes.
So that'd also be another thing that I want.
Okay.
I like
Let's get Wrecking Crew Mario on.
I like those. I like the suggestions. She says, hit me up. What do you got?
Third party, I'd want Simon Belmont. And of course Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay.
I was expecting everyone to be like, yeah, of course, but it's
Yeah.
just like dead silence.
Oh, I don't recognize the first one you said. That's why I was
no,
like,
yeah.
I had to think for a
I
second.
mean, like Simon Belmont just makes so much sense. Like I know that we had a Konami rep
sure.
with Snake, and I'm all set for him to come back. You know, if he wants to come back. But I feel like if Capcom could have 2 reps and it made perfect sense, you got Mega Man and Ryu, so you got the 2 best from the Capcom side. You might as well get the 2 best from the Konami side too. You get your Simon Belmont, and you get your Solid Snake. If you get Simon Belmont in there, you can get a reunite. You can reunite the Captain N crew with Mega Man,
Oh,
Simon Belmont.
I
King
see what
Hippo.
you're doing.
There you go.
Whoop. Yeah. As far as first party goes, I mean, this one would never happen. I mean, he couldn't even be a sticker in Brawl, so there's no chance he'd ever be playable. But Mike Jones from Star Tropics, I would like to see.
yes.
Nice.
That was one of mine. I
Good
was going to say
call.
that is awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see.
I want
that.
Star Tropics to come back so bad. So any representation makes me happy from that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, the game's director is retired now. But
Yeah. Well, maybe that makes it all the more likely to come back.
oh yeah, get that rep in
Yeah,
there
get that
for
rep
sure.
What?
Let me give you one more first party
Sure.
character just to balance it out. Here's an oddball one for you: Cricket from the WarioWare series.
All right. I like that little oddball thrown in there. Yeah,
Yeah, get some
can take
kung
that.
fu moves.
I could take that. Eric, what are you snickering about over there the last 10 minutes?
I got another idea during the middle of this.
Great.
They're not actual game characters, but they're fictional game characters. You bring in Wreck-It Ralph and Fix-It Felix and Penelope.
Ew.
Why not?
Oh, jeez.
They did that for Sonic All Stars Racing Transforms.
There you go.
And you know what? It wasn't that bad. I actually used Ralph like once or twice. So, but the guy's a parody of Donkey Kong. What's the point?
Hey, you got me there.
Maybe make him an alt skin. That would actually
Yeah, there
be.
you go.
I would actually
Yeah,
be
there you go.
okay with that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be like mad or anything. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay, fit him in.
All right. What do I want added?
Yeah.
The meh emoji. I'm just totally kidding. My kids have been all up on that emoji movie on Netflix. Like,
Boss Baby.
No, they're done with Boss Baby.
Oh, they are?
now.
Okay.
They're finally done with Boss Baby. They were on a Moana kick for a while. I was
Oh, yeah.
cool with that. I like Moana a lot.
Captain
But
Underpants.
they were on that for a little bit too. I like that movie too. but
You obviously want
not emoji.
David
Okay, so
Hasselhoff.
characters for Smash.
David Hasselhoff Knight Rider version from the video game.
With the sandwich eating alt skin.
Man, you guys took most of the ones I was going to say. There's I know it's never gonna happen because I don't even know how they would do it. I've always wanted some form of representation for Wave Race. And I don't know how it can happen. I don't know how it would even make sense.
Oh man.
But that franchise lasted longer than some of the franchises that have characters in the game.
You want to do the rolling with the jet ski on the Smash?
Like, I mean, I know they could represent it in the game with like a trophy or an assist or whatever. Like, but like, I actually want them like as a usable character in the game.
I just imagine like you're trying to move around with the jet ski, like you're just like hopping, like you're pulling all your weight up to move the jet ski.
I mean, it'd be a pretty heavy character. This is for sure.
You really want to do with the jet ski on Smash? Like, are you joking or are you serious?
Yes. Imagine the recovery, man. There'd just be like a wave of water for his recovery move.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Okay.
Did you guys see the post on Reddit of the health hazard warning guy? You know, the one where it's like, you know, don't use your Wii remote.
Oh,
too
yeah,
close.
yeah.
They like made up a whole moveset for him.
Nice.
It's kind of funny. And you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be that mad if he made it in. I'd be a little mad.
Well, we might as well just get the paperclip from Microsoft's old office and get Clippy up in there. No, I know it's a really weird. I knew that Wave Race one was a really weird suggestion. That's just me. That's the casual side of me being like, look, okay, when something appears in Smash, it gives me hope there's going to be a new game.
I don't know how many times you're gonna have to. I don't know how much your casual side can like lend to your opinion.
I know it's unrealistic to have the Wave Race, anything when Wave Race represented in the game besides like an assist trophy or something. But I'm like, I don't care. I want a playable something from Wave Race. What I was gonna say, someone from 1080 Snowboarding, one of those characters.
Hop around on your snowboard.
Well, you hop around in the game, so it makes sense.
Clone character.
Clone character.
You think Wii Fit Trainer's gonna make it back?
I hope not.
Well,
I hope not too.
As an alt skin, that would be good for the Wiimote guy.
I
There you
wonder,
go,
you know
yeah.
what? I wonder if Wii Fit Trainer will make it in just as a representation of the Wii era.
Are they gonna get rid of the Mii's?
But there's no Mii's on Switch, so
Yeah.
it would make
I
sense
just-
if there wasn't. I mean, there are technically, because like you can make like a Mii profile pick, I guess,
Yeah. No.
but like they don't really use Mii's anymore.
Yeah.
Like my profile picks a Mii, just because I don't want to be, I want to stand out.
You want to be me?
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, well, you guys
Sorry, I
have
had
so
to.
many. Like, I can think of a zillion Zelda characters I want in. That's never gonna happen. But then again, they kind of did that with Hyrule Warriors, so it's like I'm kind of satisfied. Hyrule Warriors
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of gave it to me. I mean, they gave me a playable Tingle. That's really all I needed.
Yeah. I think,
Bring
I
Tingle in.
still think that Impa has a shot.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Which version of Impa?
The Skyward Sword one.
Okay, yeah, the younger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one makes the most sense for fighting. Although it would be kind of cool to see like a granny version
Oh yeah.
kicking butt
Skin.
somehow.
One from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Skin.
Yeah, get her in there.
Fights like Bonk. Uses her head.
Third party character wise, it's always this has been a dream of mine, and I'm gonna keep singing this until the game finally releases. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I want Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch, and I want that to be like a big announcement character for Smash to announce it. It's coming to. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, I know we all want it to happen, so we're all gonna say, it could happen.
Yeah.
But like,
Cloud's in there.
I know.
Exactly.
I know Cloud's in there, but like Cloud was the weird one because like obviously there's been Final Fantasy games on, but there hasn't been Final Fantasy 7, and then there was some rumors that the remake or whatever would come, but now, God, at this point, people are thinking it's not going to come till PlayStation 5 comes out at this point, if it comes at all. I'm almost in the camp it's just never going to happen. I think they've rebooted development on it like 4 times.
Yay.
I think the biggest problem with like the only thing that makes me think like Sora might not happen is like when you're ready for that final smash, and he's like, Donald, Goofy, and nobody shows up. Oh, that's right, we don't have the rights.
Yeah, I know, and they work with Universal, so like it's really like a conflict of interest a little bit. But it's also one of those like, yeah, there's still gonna be Disney games on Switch though, so it's like,
Yeah.
I think if my thing is that Nintendo has a pretty strong relationship with Square Enix right now. They even have like Project Octopath Travelers. I know it's smaller, but it's an exclusive game coming from Square Enix to the platform. And I just sit there and I'm like, you know what? The game everyone wants coming out is Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 3. And there's been Kingdom Hearts games on Nintendo platforms in the past. Granted, handheld forms, but whatever. There's been. So I'm like, it wouldn't be out of place to have them in anyways. But I would love to see it tied together with the Kingdom Hearts 3 announcement, just because not only do I want Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch, because I want every game portable imaginable, I feel like that kind of game and that kind of character fits in with the library Switch has built for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want it to be like a Cloud where you bring Cloud in and it gets people speculating, but nothing ever happens. Granted, nothing's happened for PlayStation either for that game yet, but I'm going to keep crapping on that until they finally do something. But that's kind of my take, is like Kingdom Hearts 3 is for sure coming. At least we're like 99% sure at this point that it's actually going to happen. And I just want this to be like a springboard kind of event,
Mm-hmm.
where you bring it into Smash, and then that springboards Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch. And I don't know if that's really even happened before. Because like I know when we got Snake, I think there was the 3DS or something.
That came out much later.
Yeah, much later. So I kept thinking, I'm like, well, we're getting Snake, but
Well, there was
really-
Twin Snakes on the GameCube before.
Twin Snakes on the
then,
game.
but that was-
Yeah, I thought there was one console game.
yeah.
So it's kind of like,
There is.
I don't like using that as like an excuse. Like when I have third party characters added, I don't just want characters added because they're iconic, but they've never been on a Nintendo system, or like, you know, in a major way. Like when you add a third party character, I want it to signify that that character matters to the Nintendo roster of characters. Like Sonic makes a lot of sense to be in there because, you know, Sonic games are now all over Nintendo platforms.
Well, what about Cloud?
Exactly, and that's the thing with Cloud. Cloud was added, and I am stoked because like that's way back. That's that N64 era, even though it wasn't N64. Blah 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 blah. Like it's that same era that we all grew up in, or a lot of us grew up in, and it's still one of those things. But it wasn't on a Nintendo system. I don't get it. It's always been kind of this thing that people associated with Sony, and
You know why I thought that Cloud was going to make it, and then he eventually did? My logic is that Sakurai cares about iconic Japanese characters.
yes, he does. I think he does. Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing.
So-
like when I think
So
of
you'll
third-party
never see Master Chief, even if
No.
Microsoft's like, please take him. You're going to be like, yeah,
you
my
know,
face,
no,
American scum.
I don't think it would be a never. I think it would be one of those, if Microsoft approached and said, you could put Master Chief in the game and we will bring the next Halo to Switch.
that would never
That
happen.
is never going to happen. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, there you
it's one of those situations where like Sakurai would consider, like, as an example, say, I know Geralt's now going to be in some other Soul Calibur, I believe.
Soul Calibur
Okay.
6.
So like, but like if they approached them like, hey, look, like we're thinking of porting Witcher 3, what would really encourage us is if you included Geralt on the Smash roster. Like I think even though it's Western, he would be like, well, I mean, if you can guarantee and sign a contract with Nintendo and guarantee this game is going to get ported, then absolutely.
I don't even know if Sakurai would do that because of that. I honestly don't.
Well,
feel that
I
he-
wonder. Well, my
Yeah.
thing is like Sakurai obviously has a lot to say, but would Nintendo be like, hey, look, like they approached us with this contract, but this is like a requirement. You have to put this character in.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo.
I mean, they did it with- I
respects
argue they did it
Sakurai
with
way
Bayonetta.
too much.
Granted, it was
Because like way
exclusive.
too many times, like people would ask other people from Nintendo, like, "Hey, can this character be in Smash?" And
Sure.
they'd always default to saying like, "That's up to Sakurai."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
everything's kind of up to Sakurai. I mean, like Miyamoto went to Sakurai and said, "Put Pac-Man in Brawl," and Sakurai was like, "This character is stupid looking. He looks like a pizza, like a pizza missing a slice."
But-
that was Sakurai.
Yeah,
that
but-
was Sakurai's explanation.
But
It
what
looks like a
happened?
pizza. But Sakurai didn't put him in Brawl, but then they tried that. The Miyamoto once again asked him again, like, "Hey, can you put him in this one? And then Sakurai said, okay, well, maybe we can try to get him in this one. But he wanted it, like Miyamoto wanted him in Brawl.
Fine, if he gets you to shut
Sakurai
up.
just said, no, this is like, I can't do this character. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now we gotta add Centipede.
Low key, Sakurai was like, I don't want to make this game, but I want all the credit for it. And then Namco was like, we'll make it. And like, if you put Pac-Man in it,
Put Pac-Man in
yeah,
it.
all right.
Alright.
But they made
you
them
figure out
use
how he's
all
gonna
the
work.
Pac-Man.
So one thing I want to get to before you run out of time tonight.
Oh, there's one more character I just want to mention.
Sure, no, shout it out.
Because I forgot to mention it.
Shout it out.
Pig Wizard Ganon, like from like the original Legend of Zelda and A Link to the Past, with the trident and everything.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Old man.
The old man.
Respect your elders.
So
I turned into like an old wrestler. Okay.
this, I'm actually really interested to hear about this
Yeah.
from some people because one of the things I loved most about like Brawl and stuff like that was the Subspace Emissary. Single player modes. Doesn't matter so much for the competitive scene. But this is where you draw in more, like a larger crowd. And you could argue it's kind of like, oh, who cares about single player in Call of Duty and blah, blah, blah. But like a lot of people actually do. My dad only buys Call of Duty games for single player. So the ones that don't have it or have a really bad campaign, he doesn't buy them. So I look at it as, we all know that Sakurai got really mad. And that's why he didn't do it anymore, because people were streaming it and people were getting spoiled and leaked.
That's what he
and blah, blah, blah.
says.
That's what he says.
What he, yeah, that's what he says.
Who knows what
Exactly.
his reasons are, but that's what he said publicly, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know if I bought the excuse either, because I'm like, really?
Well,
like
again,
you didn't expect
well,
this?
It kind of fits in with Nintendo. If we're not making the money off of it, you can't do it.
I don't think Sakurai cared about that, to be honest. Whatever the case may be, do we want a single player mode to come back? And if
Yes.
so, like,
I think even competitive players want it back.
Yeah.
I've seen I follow all the competitive guys on Twitter, you know, and all of them have said, yeah, I want a single player to come back. I want to stream it, you know, I want to play.
yeah. Because that
pretty much
streaming
everyone
life
said
is
that
like the bread and butter of a competitive player when they're not at tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, everyone that I know of that I've seen. I mean, I've heard DeBuzz and I've heard Zero, who was the former #1, say that he wants a single player. I mean, I was talking about that with my
single
community.
player, like, unless one of you guys is opposed, and I don't know anyone that is, I've never met anyone who's opposed to bringing single player back.
No, bring
I
it
feel
back.
like it's the
Yeah.
one thing that can unite the whole community is like, look, everyone liked the single player.
Yeah,
Nobody
when I
wanted you
was-
not to have it anymore. You just gave us a BS excuse and didn't do it anymore.
When Wii U was coming out, like it was still in production, I remember like always campaigning for Subspace Emissary type like single player, and everyone was just like totally lambasting me for like suggesting that I should be upset that it hasn't been announced yet.
Oh,
They were like, it was such a waste of time, it wasn't any good and all that stuff, and you know,
but it could have
to
got
anyone
better.
who feels that way. I'll just say, like, you know, things get better
Yeah.
when you try it out for the first time. You know, you
Yeah.
work off of that, and to get rid of it completely is definitely not the answer.
And there was
I'll say-
aspects of it that were good. There really was.
well, the biggest aspect, the greatest thing of all, was you find, like, you know, Smash Brothers brings all these characters together for the first time ever, and when you're just facing off against each other, you still feel a little bit of a disconnect. But when there's
Sure.
a single player where there's a story that
that
forces them to
unites it all
interact,
together. Yeah.
you know, their personalities start to bounce off of each other, and that's when you can really get a sensation that it's like, wow, I can't believe that Solid Snake is interacting with like Meta Knight of all characters, you know.
that's why
but
they
just to
hate each
have
other.
them in the same fighting game kind of takes away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
So that alone is why I'd want something like Subspace Emissary again.
Sure, and I feel like when you have people like those people that were like bitching at you, I guess is the best way to put it, about it. I didn't want to say it, but I'm like, you know what? I can't think of another word. So like that, I liken those people to the same people today that yell at me whenever I bring up that I want, you know, some sort of backup saves on Switch. Oh, they'll get to it eventually. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, well, we don't have it, so until they say they're actually going to do it, I'm going to keep complaining. Same thing with single player in Smash. It's like, well, we don't have it. They never told us we're going to get it back, so I'm going to keep saying something until it happens. And it might never happen, which means I might be doing it till I'm dead. I don't know. But like people, I think what happens in conversations like this is like people think that because we really want something, that we are acting like we are entitled to have it. I'm buying Smash whether or not there's a single player. I don't feel like I'm entitled to have a single player. because that's not honestly why I buy Smash. But damn, do I enjoy it. I enjoyed Subspace Emissary. Had its faults, but I thought it was a great starting point for what could have been special. Could have been more. Almost, I know the original Smash Bros. The Master Hand and everything, like, it was kind of weak sauce, the story in it, how it worked, but it worked for the time. And it felt like they're trying to advance beyond that now. They're trying to do something new and fresh, give us that story that connects people, and gives us an ultimate goal. And it's one thing, it's odd too, because like on the flip side, you have people complaining that ARMS didn't do it well enough. ARMS is a fighting game. It's all about competitiveness, and everyone wants a better story mode. And it's like, okay, well, that's what I want in Smash. I want a better story mode. I want story, period. I want a single player that just connects. It gives us a reason to pull in Bayonetta. It gives us a reason to pull in Pac-Man if they're in Pac-Man back or whatever. Like, a reason to connect all these franchises together. Kind of like, I know it's a weak sauce argument in Fire Emblem Heroes, but they at least gave an excuse to have all of the different Fire Emblem franchises come together. So like something that makes sense a little bit, makes as much sense as they can make it make sense story-wise, but is also entertaining along the way. I enjoyed the light little cutscenes and a little bit of comedy, and obviously introducing yourself to new characters and new moves and abilities. That's really good for people who are new to Smash. What are you laughing at?
Kirby's one of Kirby's new abilities is Friend Circle. So I had to.
Yeah, I had to throw in the friend
We just
circle.
played it last night. I had to.
Yeah. Wait. Just a random shout out. Kirby Star Allies is a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah, for sure.
I did not expect it to actually be that good. Well, granted, we only play multiplayer, so
Right.
my single player judgment is still out on that. But yeah, like, what is there anything you would like to see them, like anyone, so speak on now, like anything you want to see them specifically do with the single player mode?
Oh, sorry, you cut out there.
Okay, is there anything specifically that any of you guys want to see happen with the single player mode?
Just not better than Subspace. I mean, I think what they could do is that you could actually, because they have some single player and co-op challenges that are in Smash 4. Like integrating that with the story into the single player would be cool. I think if they kind of structured it a little bit better and made it, because just Subspace had some really wonky platforming parts. So getting rid of the wonkiness of the platforming parts in terms of what you're doing there, but adding in some of the cool stuff like the challenges and everything like that, but then putting it into an overarching story, I think that would be great. I think that was probably like what they could have done is they could have taken the challenges and stuff that you do, because like there's a lot of extra stuff that you can just do in Smash 4, but it's not a story. Just put a story and then kind of surround it with that type of those type of things. I think people might have even been fine with that. I mean, it would have been maybe a little bit upgrade over Subspace.
Sure.
But yeah, just I mean, I think that I would be okay with that. And then if they added in some better, I mean, it's hard because Smash Brothers isn't like a true platformer.
Yeah.
But Subspace like had you doing like actual like real, like kind of like platforming, and it just felt weird at times. But I mean, I've said before, like, you know, Subspace. I mean, I don't really like it, but I played it because it was the fastest way to unlock characters, and it was kind of fun to mess around like co-op, you know.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, it would be cool if they kind of brought something back, but just kind of refined it, made it better, you know.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
There's like a couple things. One is I'd love to see 4-player instead of 2-player co-op. That'd be great.
Okay.
Another thing is they made this weird call to like restrict some of the abilities of the characters, and I would like to see that revoked. Like, you know, part of playing a single player to any fighting game is that you can lab with the characters organically. You know, it's like, oh, you have to get through this part with Pit, but as a result, you got to know Pit as a character a little bit better, whether or not you're going to use them. You know, you figured them out just that much better by playing the single player. And the last is, I know that they went with these generic enemies for Subspace so that you could kind of reuse them in later levels, no matter what. I say, you know, you don't have to thematically make all your stages match a certain franchise, but at the very least, just make all the enemies from other franchises that exist. Like, that's my thing. Like,
Okay.
I don't care if there's a Goomba in a Metroid stage, but just make sure that it's like all your enemies are enemies that call back to something,
Bring back
because
the
that's what
Polygon
Smash is
team.
all about.
Sure.
The Polygon team.
Oh gosh,
Ah,
you had to bring it up.
I did.
Oh man, this is what you're here for. These references that
yeah.
no one else is thinking of.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you're here, Eric.
Yep.
All
I'll
right.
agree with that one.
I actually really like those ideas. What I want to do now is we're gonna wrap up the podcast. What I want to end though with is because I feel like for a lot of us, playing a game isn't like it is for some people, where you're just playing it, you have a laugh, you set it down, you move on with your life. Games have an impact on us, at least on some level. And what I want to know is, what does the Smash Bros. Series mean to us? Darren, let's start with you. Haven't talked in a while.
Ooh, Smash Bros. Series. I don't know. One of the best parts about Smash is the hype. The hype leading up to the game. It sort of brings everyone together. I think the series as a whole there's some sort of camaraderie between, oh man, let's settle this in Smash. I bet I could kick your ass, and oh no, no question, I beat you. And so there's a sort of rivalry going on there. It's a game that is talked about a lot online. So even if you don't buy Smash, I mean, chances are you're going to join, or at least look at a Smash conversation, on social media somewhere. So in the aspect of bringing people together, I think Smash Bros. Does that very well, and that's a big part of Smash for me. What Smash means to me, but also just, I don't know. I never really play a game and then play it for a long time and get really good at it. I usually just play it, beat it, I'm alright at it, and set it down.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few games where I pick it up and try to master it. Smash is one of those games where I pick it up, play it, in my every waking moment, spare time, and just try to master it as much as I can. Something like Super Mario Odyssey, that I really didn't do a lot of post-game content. I collected, I think, enough moons to get to the dark side of the moon, but other than that, I'm not going around and trying to get all the moons and all the secrets and all that. Not trying to master that game. But Smash definitely is a game where, I'm going to be playing that for a long, long time, just trying to hone my skills and play with a bunch of people. So.
Sounds good. Eric, what does Smash mean to you?
Oh boy. I haven't really played a whole lot of the
You
new...
got it on 3DS.
I did.
Yeah.
I played it for a while, and then I just kind of stopped playing my 3DS. So the most I played is the 64 one, obviously, because that was my jam back in the day. Darren touched on a lot of it with just the camaraderie, and back in the day it was, I can definitely kick your butt in this, or no, I'm better.
Or if I lost it,
better.
I wasn't playing with my character.
Right, exactly. Yep. The excuses would come flying. The friendships would break up for a day. But no, it's just the laughs, the good times, the competitive / ultra togetherness of it, if that makes sense.
Sure, we'll roll with it.
I don't know. I can't talk.
It's your explanation.
So yeah, that's
That's what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, OJ. What does Smash mean to you?
For me, the competitiveness is definitely there. I wasn't as ultra competitive in the Melee and Super Smash Bros. 64, and Brawl I kind of was, but not really. It wasn't until I watched the Smash documentary to where I was like, oh wow, like there's so much more to this, than what I thought. And that's when I got really hardcore into playing competitively, was after I watched that documentary. So for me, it's like the ultimate Nintendo franchise, because it's all of them put together, borrowing stuff from all the different franchises, taking their signature moves. So to me, it's like the ultimate Nintendo game, in my opinion. It's like, if you're a Nintendo fan, like you're going to at least play Smash once, like there's games that some Nintendo fans play. Some people don't play Fire Emblem. Some people miss Xenoblade. But like everyone that likes Nintendo plays Smash at least once, all the new ones, at least tries it out. That's like the one game that everyone tries out. So to me, it's like the ultimate Nintendo game. That's kind of what it means to me.
Awesome. How about you, she says?
To me, Smash Brothers is the ultimate celebration of all things Nintendo, their history, new and old, and it's quickly becoming now a celebration of Japanese gaming in general. and the notable history of games from over in Japan. With how the third-party representation ended up in Smash Wii U, and hopefully how it'll expand in Switch. I can only hope. It's really just a really fun way to celebrate all things Japanese gaming, I feel. And the reason why there's so much hype behind character announcements in my mind is because it's essentially Nintendo's way of saying this is what we acknowledge to be a big deal, and you should put all your attention towards this because this is a character, this is a franchise that's good enough to be in Smash. And then everything beyond that is exactly what these gentlemen just said. It's just just a super fun, in my mind, a really great competitive game that anybody can get into because of the camaraderie of all the franchises coming together that brings everyone together. And from there it's just like that. It's one of the best games of all time because of how it includes people and how it plays.
Sure.
Great. Can I touch on just a little bit of just what she said?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice because really anybody, even if you have no skill, you can button mash the heck out of this game and still possibly win. So it's kind of nice in that sense too, where you may not be a hardcore gamer, but you can pick it up and maybe kill somebody because you're just button mashing.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. I get button mashing is generally not, you can generally get made fun of for that, but anybody
roll your
can
face on the controller.
right,
and get
exactly.
A free win.
Anybody can pick it up and actually stand a chance partially,
especially with items on.
right.
It's funny I bring that up after I just took a stance and forth items. So, like any game that means something to me, there's always like this personal touch, right? Like Smash has been there throughout my life, dating back to the 90s and just into every era of Nintendo. It's obviously always felt like a celebration of everything I love about Nintendo, and some things I don't, because I don't like fighting games. I legit do not like fighting games. It's just a genre that I have played and tried several games of. It's just not something I've really like getting into. I think the only fighting game besides Smash I put a lot of time into was Primal Rage back in the day. Excuse me here. And I don't want to get too emotional here. I've gotten emotional before on certain games because it's not one of those games that's been there for me during a tough time in my life, and there's that emotional connection. But it's interesting to me because as much as I don't like fighting games, there's just something different about Smash. Not just how it plays, not just the characters it brings together, just something about how even as I'm almost a casual player of Smash by default. I play so many games, I don't have time to be serious about really any one game for a long enough time. Like Breath of the Wild is my all-time favorite game now, and I've only got 155 hours in it. And I don't know how many more I'm going to have in it because there's so many other things to play. And when I want to get really, really good at something, I have to put in a ton of time. But even when I'm not putting in a ton of time, every time I pick up Smash and I'm playing against anybody, I don't even care if it's the CPU. It's kind of that feeling I used to get when I played Pokemon is I want to be the best. Even though...
Like no one ever was.
No one ever was.
Right,
Like even though I know deep down I'm not that good. I don't care. I want to be that good. And I want to feel like I'm that good. And obviously, if you just play against competitive players, like if I'm playing online against you guys, even assuming there's no lag, you guys are gonna wreck me. But that might not always be the case. I could play against a random. I could play against Eric and maybe I beat him, or something. Even against the CPU, even if they beat me on the hard for some reason because I'm bad. There's that point where it always feels like any player, no matter your skill set, can play the game and feel good.
Mm-hmm. And that's
just feel good about themselves. About even if you don't like fighting games, feel good that okay, but this is a fighting game. It's only as serious as you want to be. And I wish I could be a competitive Smash player. I wish. I really wish I could. And I know it's as easy as just do it. And if I really wanted to be, I could dedicate the time to do it. But it's one of those things now, you know, when I look at it, like I'm a very competitive person. Eric knows this very well. There's very few things I do not turn into a competition. It's just the way it is. I'm surprised on our stream nights when we're doing shots that we haven't turned into a shot competition yet. I'm just waiting for the night when I'm like, okay, we can kind of get to that point and just go to bed. Haven't had nights like that. I've always said I watch my kids or something, but it's still one of those things to me where when I play Smash, those juices are just flowing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if I'm playing against like a really, really good player or a really bad player. I want to win, and I'm going to play as hard as I can to win. I'm going to try to, if I have it on video, I'm going to try to watch replays of the match. Like, say I'm playing against OJ, and he just destroys me, right? I'm going to, like, record it and watch replays and replays of it to, like, okay, he's doing this. How can I counter that? What can I do? Like, I'm going to try to figure it out like I'm a pro. I'm not, but I'm going to try because I feel like that's just the way it is. It's a competitive thing. And Smash somehow, even though I know in my deepest depths of my soul that I'm never going to be as good as everyone because I'm not going to put in the time, it makes me feel like I am, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, even though, you know, when I'm, you know, how I want items as like a person watching because it's more fun to watch items in a match and blah blah blah. Like, I understand the whole don't have items, Final Destination, blank stages. Like, I get it because I've done it, and I understand like that's where the true skill sets come out. And part of it's because I'm not at that level that I don't like it as much because every time I lose a match on like a Final Destination type place, you know, not necessarily Fox only anymore. That's obviously kind of a meme from what it used to be like. When you're in that moment and I lose, my issue is the competitive juices come out so much that I'm going to start studying and I'm going to start treating it like I'm a pro because I'm going to be like, no, this can't happen again. Next time I face this person, I got to shock him.
Yeah.
I got to take that stock. Even if I lose the overall, say we're playing 2 stock or whatever, I'm going to take 1. Mm-hmm. After they just no damaged me, I'm going to take 1. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to like put like 100 hours in to try to like get that to happen. And that's partially why I want items on so much because I don't want to get to that point where I don't want to say wasting my time, but it feels like because for me to do that, I'm going to be neglecting YouTube. When I probably should be sleeping, I'm going to be playing Smash. Like, I'm going to neglect a lot of things in my life because my competitive side is telling me, no, I need a rematch, and I need to prove to this person I am not as bad as I was. But Smash is like the only game that can do me. If I get destroyed in ARMS, I don't feel that way. If I get destroyed in Mario Kart, I don't feel that way. Even items on or items off Mario Kart, it doesn't matter. I don't even think Mario Kart's fun without items on, to be honest. It's a personal thing. Smash without items on can still be fun. I admit. It can still be fun. I know I'm countering my own self from before, but it's still fun.
I didn't even know Mario Kart could turn items off.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there anyone that can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, in versus mode.
Yeah, you can turn on. But the difference is that, like you just race. There's no like moves. There's no special. It's just racing. So
well, that's the thing. Like Mario Kart without items is a very average racer.
Yeah, it's a very average. Whereas Smash Brothers, even if you have items, characters have just an array of moves that they can use. They have a bunch of specials. There's a bunch of different things that you can do, even without items on. So that, I think that's one of the key, the key differences between the two.
It's not just hold A and go. There's so much more. There's so much.
Yeah, some people say, well, what about other racing games? Go play like a Forza, then come back and play Mario Kart, no items. There's a huge difference. There really is, and I'm not even that in the racing games either. But like I've played them. There is a big difference just in. Not just
only one of them has Mario.
Only one of them.
I don't like racers for the same reason. What you just no items with Mario Kart. That's not fun. No items with a lot of racers. To me, that's not super fun. Just to hold down the trigger and play a racing game. But that's. I used to like
tap the brake here and there, and it's. And I understand that there's people that are different strokes for different folks. Some people are gonna like that, but to me, like Mario Kart's appeal is in the items.
Yeah,
and in that crazy zaniness. Yeah. And I feel like you can still create I'm sure all of us have gotten competitive at Mario Kart with our friends at one point. Like we could still be ultra competitive, and that's why so much of us hate the blue shower, we hate the rubber band. But then at the same time, we love the game because these items are in it. Yeah. Even though we hate them, but we love them. It's a love-hate relationship.
Oh yeah.
but that's what makes it fun, and it makes it like like people want us to do more Mario Kart 8 tournaments at Nintendo Prime because everyone gets ultra competitive, but we're also having a blast while we do it. So it's like even if we lose, we still had a damn good time. And Smash Bros is a game that I think is fun either way. I think it's more fun to watch. Like always, it's more fun to watch. I think with items, unless you know the players. Like I think now that I have like I need to see OJ and She Says Go At It in the new Smash game. It needs to happen. I need to be spectating that right now. Like that we need to make this happen somehow. I need to get this connection going.
I am down. Although like the other YouTubers, they hate me. Like Mr. T and like I remember I played with them, like Terminator. They absolutely hate me because they don't know how to spot dodge. So I just grab them like I troll them and just grab them a million times with Sheik. So
nice. Well, I'm a more offensive player, so you won't be able to do that as often. But if you're gonna hold the shield out, then
that's what
most people I can't.
Away my weaknesses. Like if you shield a lot, I have a problem because I don't like to grab the opponent constantly. I feel like it kind of dilutes the game.
Ooh.
Smash Brothers is so like everything's dependent on grabs in Smash 4.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is so grab heavy. I mean, not with every job, just Smash in general. Like Smash 4, that's what some people don't like about it. It's super grab heavy, but I mean, you could still play super offensive and like just you can whittle away shields. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of ways you can play and be good.
Sure. And that's another appeal to the game too, is that there's so many different ways to play it.
Yeah, like
there's not one
if
style.
you don't like doing grabs, even though that's a huge thing, there's ways you can work around that and still be really, really, really good.
Yeah, because there's some characters whose grabs are just trash, and it's just such like Pac-Man probably has the worst grab that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my! I don't even know.
You know, it's funny. I don't like Captain Falcon's grab because it's too often I dash through the opponent when trying to grab them. Like you have to space it.
Yeah, you have to space it correctly. Once you space it, it's actually not bad because it's quick. But I mean, have you ever played with Pac-Man? Like, have you seen this guy's grab? Oh my gosh,
it's like an 8-bit alien invasion.
Like even like the hitbox on it is shorter than what you see. So like even if you it can touch them, but if it's too far away, even though like the little blue lines touch them, it still won't.
You just go through them.
The person. It's ridiculous.
Pac-Man's. I even know Pac-Man. That was the first. Like I actually like grabs. So like
I was like, oh yeah.
He is kind of
Pac-Man's in the game. I gotta try Pac-Man out, even though like it just doesn't fit. But then I guess Namco's kind of doing it. So all right, whatever. So like I'm playing Pac-Man. I'm like, oh my god, why are you not grabbing people? What are you doing? What is happening? I'm trying to grab a computer player and it's not working. What is going on? Oh, I hate. That I don't know if I ever play Pac-Man again after that. I'm like, no.
Yeah. He's fun. He's a fun character to play. I think he has like stupid moves that are fun to do, like the hydrant. It's like hydrating people and like like the key. Like his key is super powerful. Like he has a little weird Galaga thingy that loops. I mean, he has all sorts of crazy. He has a bunch of fruit. Like he's a very fun character, but his grab is trash.
But
Yep.
Yeah, like just ending my thoughts on like what Smash means to me. Smash is like this unique game. There have been attempts to make Smash-like games by other companies. Obviously, PlayStation All-Stars is the most well-known one, and that failed for its own various reasons. We're not going to dive too deep into that today. But Nintendo found something, or maybe Sakurai and Iwata found something with Smash that just resonates, I think, throughout all of gaming. I think even as, like, if you love Sony and love Xbox, love PC, you know what Smash is. You know what's going on. You wish that was a game you could play on the platform you're playing, that you like to play on. Because it, she said something about how it's like a celebration of Japanese gaming. I think a lot of people just view it as a celebration of gaming on the whole.
Yeah. Until
I know we haven't had a lot of Western.
That there hasn't been a single.
Yeah, Western characters have been kind of one of those. Yeah,
not even UK or anything. It's just all Japanese.
Yeah, it's been all Japanese, and to an extent, understandable when it's made in Japan and it's Sakurai, and we all know his personal tastes, or at least we think we know.
We all know he's a big xenophobe.
Yeah, I think we know his personal taste, or whatever the case may be. And then there's also like when you are a Smash fan and you've been following it for as long, you also get like this. I almost get this extra appreciation when the stories come out of like Sakurai like sacrificing his own health to make the games, because part of it is almost his own stubbornness because he doesn't trust anyone else to balance characters. And then when that happens, and you're like, yeah, but this character isn't balanced. Maybe you should have let someone else. But it's like
I don't know.
I don't
believe
Looking
that.
at you,
I think he was just
Bayonetta.
doing Pilates one day and he like hurt his wrist. and
Pilates.
He had a
Pilates
chance
one
to
day.
like pretend like spin it as a thing like he's just
nothing
working
to do with some weird claw grip he probably uses or anything.
He was testing out Wii Fit Wii Fit Trainer moves.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was researching for Wii Fit Trainer.
And he just destroyed his wrist and said, "Yeah, it's from me balancing the game. What I didn't tell you is I was trying to do the moves in real life, and that's how I hurt myself."
We're on to you, Sakurai.
But like, I feel like when stories like that come out, embellished or not, it still just makes fans even more connected to the game. It's like, okay, this guy's like giving everything he has, even when he has told us that he doesn't want to make them anymore. He still does it and still gives everything he has into it. Like, you don't ever feel like he necessarily regrets making the games.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that was another thing where I was like, "You're full of crap."
Yeah,
And
that's
he
the
was
thing. Like, it's so weird hearing because he'll talk so passionately about Smash. Like, you could tell he loves this series, but then he's also like, "I don't want to make it anymore," or "I'm constantly
with
hurting
Brawl, he,
myself."
Like,
and
I remember
blah,
there
blah,
was an
blah.
interview. It was with IGN. He said like, "I'm not making any more Smash games. I think I'm done after this." And then like the interviewer was like, "Oh, okay. What characters did you weren't able to make into Brawl since you were retiring?" And his response to that was like, "Well, I mean, if I do come back, I got to make sure I don't tell you." I'm like, okay.
Well, and I
You don't
always
sound
thought
all that confident.
I
David.
was trying to
and
give
then
him
he
a
came back
pass.
for Wii U.
Yeah, I was trying to give him a pass because I figured, you know what, the reason he was coming back was Iwata, right? I kept thinking him and Iwata are super tight. They came up in the industry together. Iwata made like Smash Bros. Even possible with the reprogramming and all that stuff, and like Legends at Hell coming up. So I kept thinking, okay, well, yeah, he doesn't want to do it, but he knew in the back. Like, I kept thinking at that interview, he knew in the back of his mind if Iwata asked him to, he's doing it. He's not going to say no to Iwata. It's basically like I felt like he almost felt like he maybe owes Iwata that debt of gratitude for their friendship and them coming up together. So I always felt like, yeah, he doesn't want to do it, but he's doing it because of Iwata. But now I don't know because like Iwata's gone, sadly, and he's still doing it. And then like part of me is like, well, the emotional side of me saying he's doing it as a dedication to Iwata. But then I'm like, no, maybe like how many excuses am I going to give this guy for continuing to make Smash when he says he doesn't want to make it anymore?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
the paychecks are pretty good. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's able to not do anything for like paid.
Those
pretty well.
paychecks gotta be fat. Gotta be.
Yeah, the
fat.
paychecks are real. I think
Like
the
one
paychecks are
other
pretty
person could be like,
good.
look, I don't even work at Nintendo, but I get the biggest paycheck of everyone at Nintendo.
I know Sakurai's handsomely paid. Nintendo doesn't disclose how much they pay their, he's a contractor, so
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't disclose it, but I'm pretty sure it's royalty based along with base salary as well.
Oh,
so,
I'm sure it's
yeah.
got to be lucrative, and Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like so important to the Smash series that
Yeah.
they're gonna give him what he wants as long as it's gonna be profitable.
In my opinion, I mean, I don't think it's a bad deal. I know he says he keeps. I think there's something deep down inside. There's always something that he can find, some type of way, like feel like new challenge. Now you have the Nintendo Switch. I don't think he can pass. He couldn't pass this opportunity up, considering I mean, look at most of the systems that he's made Smash Brothers on, right? They've all been pretty much relatively, not necessarily the best selling, right? All of the systems. I mean, 3DS was good, but I mean, like Smash Brothers Brawl was the only one that really sold, like with the Wii, the Wii sold a lot.
Yeah, it really
but like
sold
all the other systems were kind of low. So I mean, like you have the Switch is super popular. I mean, maybe it's a new challenge for him,
Well, and I also think like when he says he doesn't want to make Smash anymore, I don't think it's that he doesn't really want to do it. I think that he's got ideas for other games he'd like to do that he feels like he can't get to because of Smash. And I say this because I know they're two completely different people, but like I followed the Zelda series so closely over the years when I was at Zelda Informer. Eiji Anomu voiced that he didn't want to make Zelda games anymore because he has ideas for games he wants to make that aren't Zelda. That's basically it. It's not because he doesn't love Zelda or wants to keep doing it, but he can't do his other games as long as he's doing Zelda. And yeah, there's been talks that maybe he's setting up the team and getting some of these directors to step up so he has to do less and less. That's fine. And maybe he's setting it up to maybe get to that point. Nintendo's probably going to let him do it eventually. But it's one of those things where I almost feel like maybe like Sakurai's this independent contractor, so he's not beholden to anyone.
Right.
he has to force himself to stop doing Smash to have the time to do what he wants. And I don't really know, like, he's got like his own quote unquote studio. I don't know how big it is. Is it really big enough to do anything on its own?
It's essentially nothing. It's essentially when he feels like working, he hires some people.
Yeah,
he has a company name, an LTD, but it's essentially just a name.
If you want to do, you have more money than God probably at this point. Well, maybe not quite that much. Okay, you're not up in the Bill Gates territory. Nintendo's not even up there. But it just feels like, I don't know. I just get this feeling that he wants to do something more, and I don't know.
Oh, he does.
Like, I'm worried about like what's gonna happen. Yeah, Kid Icarus. He did get that. That was great. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, I guess we'll end with this. How much longer do we think Sakurai can realistically just keep making Smash games?
I think he's just gonna keep making them. And I was just gonna say, I think that the whole thing where he keeps saying like, "Oh, I think this is my last one." Kojima did the same thing with the Metal Gear series. I think it's like a Japanese way of being a hype man. You know, you say it's your last one, and everyone has that expectation. It's like, oh no, he's not gonna make another one. That's awful. And then when he does say like, I'm coming back, that's when everyone's like, yeah. I think it's just a hype man.
Hype thing. Could be.
I also think it's also a Japanese thing too. You know, Japanese people, when it comes to certain like, they stay at a company. You're supposed to be dedicated. This is what you do for a long time, you know? Like, that's just kind of how the culture is, too. Yeah. It's like, even if you don't want to do something, you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, like, there's some things that are acceptable there, like sleeping on the job sometimes when you're, like, it shows sign that, like, you know, that you're working hard. You know, like, if you have a long work day, like, they allow that. So there's just certain things, I think, culturally, too, that are kind of in play. He says, oh, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. But deep down, he's like, this is what I, you know, this is what I do, you know, this is who I am. So I think there's some maybe a bit of
maybe a bit of inner turmoil, a little bit where it's like, this is what I do, this is what I love, but I kind of want to do something else, but I don't really want to stop what I love, and these paychecks are fat, and Nintendo's gonna want me around as long as I'm willing to do it. Is my hand and my wrist really that bad? Well, okay. Is when I'm gonna stop doing it when I can no longer pick up a pencil?
This dude has the greatest summer break ever, too. I mean, this man's summer breaks are like 2-3 years. I mean,
dude, pretty. I'm sure he enjoys his life. I don't think that's a problem.
Famitsu columns, he gets to write for Famitsu casually. You know,
and that's the thing. If he worked at Nintendo, that's never happening. But like, he's on his own. He's like, I do what I want. Oh, I want to talk about Smash. What are they gonna do? Fire me? Like, I could say anything I want. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know they try to put restrictions on him, but like, as an example, if he just tweeted out the entire roster for this game tomorrow, just out of nowhere, think Nintendo's gonna fire him for it?
That wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't. I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying, like, I feel like that's the power he has with this series. Is that, like,
that would be the most disrespectful. Like, that would be very bad in Japan.
Especially ruining all of the big new announcements or whatever. Like, it would be bad. Yes, I'm not saying he should, but I'm just kind of put that in frame of, this is how much power he has with this franchise.
Well, he was like, you know, I'm doing this dojo whether you like it or not.
I hated that.
No Nintendo game has ever had that level of interaction with fans.
I'm including Kid Icarus Uprising as a playable game inside of the Smash Bros. Whether you like it or not.
You know, he pretty much said that with the whole demo thing.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, who knows? Who really knows if that was him that came up with that idea or someone at Nintendo?
Sure.
You know.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up the podcast right there. I want to thank our two special guests this week, of course. Eric, get out what you have to say that you've been giggling like a schoolgirl.
I will wait till after. This is the perfect way to end the podcast. So we'll get the.
It doesn't feel so perfect now.
No. It will. Trust me. We'll get through the
all right.
Promotions and stuff like that. And then I'll end it.
Something on his mind.
Yes, he does. He's been giggling about it for. Anyways, I want to thank obviously OJ for Player Essence for stopping by. I know you're usually busy during the week, but thank you for making the time. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again someday. We'll see.
Absolutely, man. It was great being on. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming content you want to kind of throw a shout out for people to look for?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you guys aren't really sure as far as what my channel's.
Yeah, because I don't know how much crossover there is.
I'm a nerd. I like to play video games. I like to talk about games. I mainly cover Japanese gaming, RPGs, like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. I cover all that. Valkyria Chronicles. So if you're really into that type of stuff, you're really into Nintendo, Japanese RPGs, Japanese gaming, I cover that a lot. I do like at least 3 or 4 videos a day. I do live streams as well where we get the community involved every single day. So it's a lot of fun, really passionate community. It's also kind of like anime themed as well. So if you're into Naruto or if you're into anime, it's kind of themed off of that as well in terms of some of the stuff that we say, the lingo and things like that. So it's a great community. We have a lot of fun. So yeah, if any of you guys are interested to come on over to Player Essence, it's right here on YouTube. Just type in Player Essence, you'll see my channel here. You'll see my anime avatar. So it's right there.
Yep, and we'll have a link down to his channel, maybe his latest video at the time this podcast goes up, and then also his Twitter handle as well if you would like to follow him on Twitter. And then obviously She Says, better known for some people as Boundary Break if you watch his channel.
Go check out Player Essence, man.
Go check out Player Essence.
I'd rather everybody go check out Player Essence and subscribe to this channel right here.
No. Your channel's good too, man.
No, thank you. But yeah, seriously, I guess real quick, I just do. I look at games from different perspectives. If you want to see your game that I probably covered on the channel at this point, seen at a different, in a whole new way, maybe find some new discoveries, you should check out my channel. But yeah, first and foremost, Player Essence and this channel right here. Subscribe to this channel that you're listening to at this very moment.
I just subscribed to your channel. I'm like, I need like 30% of your subscribers just subscribe to my channel. I'll be good.
Yeah, right. I won't even take 30%. Can you give me like 10%?
Yeah, can you give me? Seriously, can you give me like 5 or 10%?
When this podcast goes up. When this podcast goes up, you're gonna spam your community post section, right? Just go subscribe.
Just gonna go over my channel, just put up a video and be like, "Sorry guys, some of you have to go."
Here's the deal: Boundary Breaks and closed doors.
You got a new dad now. It's Player Essence.
You want the next Boundary Break video? Get Player Essence to 50K.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I just realized how great your channel is. I just subscribed and I'm just realizing how amazing your channel is.
Thanks.
No, it actually looks pretty interesting. I just subscribed right now.
Oh, dude,
thanks, dude.
Yeah. So like, for people who've never seen a Boundary Break,
if you do Japanese RPGs, I recommend the Chrono Trigger episode. Or, the Final Fantasy VII episode.
Nice. I see that. I saw that right out of the corner of my eye. I see a Final Fantasy episode. I already watched later.
Like, and if no one's seen a Boundary Break episode before, like when he talks about like angles and things you haven't seen, like think Boundary Break, breaking the boundaries. He will like pull the camera out and like explore parts of the levels that you could never see on your own generally, unless you also know how to glitch things and yada yada. Like looking inside objects and seeing if there's anything in there. Is it a 2D sprite? Is it a 3D model? Like just figuring out how these games were put together basically and these stages and finding the interesting stuff. And that's what he does. And it is so I've been watching that content for so long.
Absolutely.
I remember when Darren, because the only reason I even have a contact with you is because of Mr. Darren over there. Out of nowhere, I'm like, dude, everyone bailed on the podcast. We need someone. He's like, hey, LSS Boundary Break guy. I'm like, you know him?
I think I was the first one to feature his website.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing. Like a lot of the YouTubers that I have contact with was like Zelda Informer Days. I featured your videos and you liked it, so like you got hold of me. But it's just a whole different perspective now because now I create content and man, I love everything that Boundary Break guy over there puts out. It is so great, so unique, and it's just like Player Essence. Like when I watch like your PE news and also like you just have such a personality about the way you present things. It's great. I love it. It's why I tune in because you are different than me. You're different than Spawnwave. You're different than all the other cats out there that do somewhat similar but different things. And your live streams are lit.
The live streams are crazy. Yeah,
your live streams are nuts.
Because I almost have no filter for the most part. I mean, I'll try to control myself, but yeah, I'll just kind of pop off at times, mainly for entertainment. But you know,
yeah. Well, there's moments too. Like my live streams are known because like people will super chat and then we'll do shots, right? Like it's almost like an etiquette thing, but not really. It's different, and people like watching slowly my filter degrade as the night goes on because like I have a permanent filter because I have children and like I used to work like a job around like after school program. Like, I just don't swear that much. I just don't do inappropriate things that much. But then, like, as the night goes on, it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm 21 again, and it's my first night being hammered, and things are just going to happen right now. I think people just love that aspect of it. And while I'm doing that, I'm playing games, and some games I just get demonstrably worse at. Other games, like Splatoon 2, I go from the worst player to passable. It's weird. I don't know how. Maybe because I get the beer goggle vision and it just improves because I'm a squid. Or
You're seeing like 4 and you're actually aiming at the correct one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's crazy, but like that's the thing. We all provide like this unique thing on YouTube. And I'm glad we get to come together on a podcast like this. It's one of my favorite. You know, I say this every time we have guests on. It's always like my favorite podcast ever because I love bringing YouTubers together and just talking about something we love. Smash Bros. Even as much as I want the GameCube controller to die, even as much as I want the roster to trim down, even as much as everyone in the world hates me because I have bad opinions, we're all still here having fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, Eric Moore and Darren as well with us. Almost as always for Darren, always for Eric. You guys can follow Darren at Real Darren. You can follow Eric at emo. Is it 9087?
No, 8790.
8790. I'm gonna get it one of these weeks. You can follow myself at Ninty Prime. I'll just say that one. Don't worry about my other Twitter handle. It's irrelevant. You could follow. Oh, let's see if I can get this off the top of my head. You can follow. She says at Boundary Break. Yep, I got that one. That one was that's an easy one. Okay, Player Essence. I can't remember if it's at Player Essence or if it's just app. Did I get it?
Yeah, just at Player Essence.
Just at Player. See, I'm the only one that's not at the name of my channel.
Yeah,
because someone else owns the Twitter handle. They don't even use it, but they own it. Anyways, it is what it is. Look at that. Now, Eric, are you signing us out?
Can I end the cast now?
You do it.
Okay, so we're going back to something that OJ said in how Sakurai will find a way. I got a new character, Ugandan Knuckles, and Sakurai will find a way.
Oh god!
Good night, everybody.
Seriously, you're on my foot. Oh, that hurt.
Really?
Yeah, that's my fault. Wow, I can't believe that's just how we just ended it. I almost feel ashamed to put this up now.
Yeah, honestly.
Ugandan Knuckles. Oh no.